Radiant team pick.
We've from time to time seen this hero slip into interesting position 1 or position 4 roles, but I feel like he really has cemented himself in that 3. And IO for GH seems like a classic. So Nigma, you know, not wide open in their draft. They do have relatively locked-in heroes here, but it seems like they've got a plan.
Yeah, the thing is, how do you want to approach this bet, right? Do you want to get something like a Weaver, Phantom Lancer still in a pool, but the Lashrak kind of blocks that pick, so I'm liking what...
Right?
Yeah.
Storm Spirit going to be able to kind of backstab into the Lich.
Yeah. It's not that great of a Storm game to start with. Like, they have stun. You have Tiny Stun, you have Lasso, you have Lich's Gaze, Lashrak stun, even though it's not that reliable against the Storm Spirit. It's still an okay Storm Spirit game.
Not too bad, not amazing. Final bans. Viking looking to remove.
Okay, so they might be looking for a Slark here. They banned out Bloodseeker.
Yeah, usually the go-to, isn't it? Ban Bloodseeker, pick Slark. But then, does this not signal to Nigma like, hey, just ban Slark now anyway? It's
not a good lane for Slark when you're playing against the Slardar. You get one, you time your bash, and then you stun him with the Slithering Crush, so that's gonna be a lot of damage. So, not a big fan.
Yeah, and then, you know, if Storm gets an Orchid and is able to get the jump on you, or, you know, a Static Storm, you can't Dark Pack that off. It gets a little bit messy, as Phantom Lancer, the hero we've been talking about in the previous series, does show his face, and a Meepo. Viking with a Meepo. Who's their Meepo player? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I know some of the guys from my pubs. I know Toby, I know Celery. It's gonna be Boom.
It will be Boom. Find out how they deal with this. Meepo into PL. You've got the nets, you've got that AoE magic damage as well. Not a bad matchup here at all, and the ability for this Meepo, Batrider, and Tiny to kind of jump in onto IO Disruptor, who are very squishy supports, most certainly gives Viking good entry into team fights, as long as they can come out this laning stage, you know, with a decent amount of itemization. Keep this Meepo accelerating is going to be the key.
The question is how many times this Meepo is gonna die, because every single time this hero dies, it feels like he loses much more than other heroes. Also, I'm thinking about the build on the Phantom Lancer. Getting Hood might not be a bad idea against the Tiny Lash Lich, even Batrider. But you also want to have a Manta style earlier, so you can dodge Meepo's net, and then use Doppelganger to get out of his reach.
Yeah,
We'll see what he decides to go for, but I'm liking Hood a lot.
Yeah, it's always one of those funny ones, you know, the kind of item timings and decisions to, you know, go a bit defensive early and then try and get aggression later on. I feel like Nigma potentially just skip that and go full aggression if they have a good laning stage and just be like, oh, right, we're doing fine. We can put our foot down and really stamp our mark on this game. But I think
what is this set?
The Bat Rider.
For Bat Rider.
Dude,
a Rat Rider.
It looks... You know those what are they, Sphinx? The naked cats, the cats with no hair?
Yeah.
The naked mole rat. It looks like a naked mole rat. That's what it looks like. Oh, it's an ugly hero. No, mount. That's the word I wanted. That's Tiny. Look at him, glorious. Put our in-game overlay on and get ourselves into match 1. Best of 2s through this group stage here for the ESL LA Major. We get ourselves ready and raring to go. Tiny boots first, heading up towards top. Shad will be your, like you said, the kind of position 1 Lesh to lane against the Slardar. Tiny and Lich for Celery, bringing up the rear. We'll be joining them. GH and Mind Control, it looks like they're heading top, so that's going to leave us a... Oh, okay, they're scouting lanes. Look at where Miracle's standing.
I'm looking. Yeah, he's ready to go wherever. For Viking, they want to have last track against the Slardar, so he does not care about Slardar coming in. Even if he gets close, he's going to pop the Edict.
Oh, nice stun. Good tether. GH loses like 60% of his HP, not looking too healthy. Good start for Viking. So Meepo's mid against the Storm Spirit. Kuroki just hanging around bottom lane. Miracle does swing down south. So Nigma, it looks like they are content. I don't know about happy, but it seems like they're, you know, satisfied with leaving Slardar up here.
Yeah, they want to have Phantom Lancer against the Bat Rider. That's what they want to have. Of course, they're going to put the Storm Spirit against Meepo on the mid. Storm on the side lane, not that great. And, I mean, you have to sacrifice a little bit. This Slardar will get harassed a lot. 2 ranged heroes, also physical damage reduction from the Frost Shield. It's not going to be that great. But he's paired up with Io, so some of that harassment will be not that great. Coming, I mean, healing from the Io is just that good. And we can see Toby already behind the tier 2 tower, ready to take the wave.
Yeah, doesn't even bother going to lane for that first wave. So what's the plan here? Does he do the full pull and go across, or does he try and stack double wave up? He's already missed 1 melee creep. And look at this Thunderstrike from Kuroki already chipping away at Toby. Massive amounts of damage, level 1 from Disruptor. That's what we like to see. So Toby, really no choice anymore. Who misses the stun? Oh, top lane, hello. Mind Control. Oh, he's being punched. He's being destroyed. He's being killed.
Even without the stun, they still managed to grab a kill. I'm wondering if Aramis wants to stick around for 1 more kill, then go back to bottom. Toby, no XP yet whatsoever. Lane is approaching.
Pretty decent wave coming in. The toss. What's going on, Aramis? Throwing creeps around. Leave the poor souls alone. So PL, Miracle really left to his own devices down here. 5 and 5. Toby trying to leech experience, find a place in the trees to hide. Because Tiny, like you said, has stayed up top lane. Still looking for a toss back, potentially under tower. But GH playing incredibly defensively. Mind Control far forward, battling with Celery here with Crush and Bash. He's doing a good amount of harassment, and Lich does have to fall back to Salve. It's going to get cancelled. Look at that, bashed up. He's got another Crush if he wants to go for it. Give him a few more whacks, Mind Control. Get in there. You can't kill him, but you can do a massive amount of damage until you get tossed into the tower. Missed stun from Lesh again. And they will get a trade at the very least. They lose the Lich for Mind Control back into the grave.
It's not that easy to land a stun with Lash on the flying target. AoE is really small. But they will definitely need to help Batrider on the bottom lane. He is getting some creeps. Kuroki denying a little bit, but still, it's a free farming Phantom Lancer.
completely unbothered, completely untouched, and it's Miracle on his PL as well. You know he is going to come out of the gate absolutely racing. Oh, that's my bad. That's a T-Tours. There must have been a toss back on the IO. They've picked off GH this time. So trailing
mid-air while he was tethering to cancel it. Then there was a follow-up stun from Lesh and guaranteed kill. How's mid lane doing? 23, 14, and 4 for Storm Spirit.
This is... I do wonder how many of these are neutral creeps. You know, he's a little ahead of the Storm, but I feel like he's cleared this camp that he's taking now maybe once or twice. We're still doing reasonably well in this mid lane, and he can also fall back into the jungle if need be. As top lane, I will catch this one. No T-Tours anymore. GH really feeling the pain in this tri-lane. Viking sticking it to them, but Lacoste, is it enough? You know, the three heroes leeching experience from each other up here.
I want to see Tiny rotating mid, trying to grab a kill before Storm Spirit gets level 6. Rune in 10 seconds if he gets a haste or invisibility. That's kind of guaranteed kill, but look at the wards from Nigma already. They know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, one outside that Roche pit sees the Tiny coming in.
Worst rune.
Illusion rune, yikes. Well, look at Storm though. Storm Spirit's being just hounded and chased by this Meepo, but now the turnaround with Kuroki arriving. Looks like Boom is gonna get Vortex back. That's a level 4 point in Vortex. Unfortunately, not enough damage to finish off Meepo, and Aramis, he's got the 1-1-0 build. He's pretending to be an illusion. He's running around the trees, but the salve from Wii will keep him in fighting shape, at least for now.
Can't pretend anymore. They know which one is real.
This does open things up a little bit top lane, right? You've got GH and Mind Control, who very likely feel emboldened by the Tiny's rotation. Now they can play forward onto the Lich and Lesh, who are reasonably squishy up against deep from Mind Control. Oh, Wii is being chased. Aramis is looking for the toss back onto his illusion. That's really... Oh, no, he's actually tossed him onto the creep camp. Nothing will come of that. Bounty runes are up. Shad giving chase, but Mind Control wants to battle into the Lich. The bash and crush. The damage is in. Celery. Oh, nice sidestep. Mind Control just drops his shoulder, gives it the old shimmy, steps past the splitter, and they kill off the Lich. Easy peasy. Are they gonna go for Shad? No, they are going to just calm down a little bit.
You need to be careful about positioning. Just try to stay at the max distance, harass, and that's it. Don't get close, otherwise you're gonna die.
Meepo now level 6. We about to crack 6 himself. Should be a little bit afraid, yeah. The nets, level 1 nets. They are here for Boom. Feels like such a weird game from Viking. You know, they're pulling out all these little tricks here and there. Toby is still dragging waves around and kind of stacking up, trying to get experience where he can. Miracle continues to free farm at 45 and 14, fully lane creeps. While Meepo's 51 and 5 looks pretty good with a few jungle creeps. He's going to go in onto the Storm Spirit, another ensnare. I don't know if he's got the full damage to bring down Wii. With a Ball Lightning, Wii having a Fairy Fire also in inventory seems pretty okay until Batrider arrives. He says, "Heya, Wii, you alright, mate? You're gonna have to Ball Lightning Zip. Is it far enough?" That's the question. Toby gives chase, but he's only level 4 and he's been sandwiched in by Kuroki. Quick kinetic field into even quicker TP home. Well, I've missed a kill up top. Of course I have. GH has dropped to this tri-lane reunion. Aramis has come back up here and he's battling forward. Mind Control's gonna try and slide into the trees. Does he have a TP? He does. Shad holds under stun, looking to scout with the Edict, see if they can find out where he is, but Mind Control has yet again found a way to weasel himself out of danger.
Batrider has a lot of CS.
Oh, mid lane.
7.
They're finding Meepo here. Look at this. GH and Kuroki are in. They've glimpsed back Meepo. Yeah, drag him back, but Storm has got a Ball Lightning forward again. One more hit. It's just enough. Well done. That was very, very much on the edge.
I believe that's the call from V to kill the Meepo. He is the Meepo expert, knows how to shut this down, how to shut down this hero, and every single time when you kill him, he suffers much more than the other heroes.
Yeah, especially when you get into that mid game, he bleeds so much experience and gold when he gets picked off as well. Meepo will come back into mid. What's he got so far on this Meepo? Let me click the real. Can I click the real one? Thank you. Quadruple race band, very powerful. Going into treads. Do you see much Meepo in your pubs, or I guess like pro games? We don't really see him that often. I'm thinking, what's the build nowadays?
I was never a Meepo player, but it usually is either Ethereal Blade, first item, sometimes Blink, depends. I see it in the pubs as the 10th pick. People love to cheese and just win the game when it's a good Meepo game.
We'll see what Boom heads into. Could maybe consider, you know, like a Shadow Blade into Scythe of Vice, but yeah, I think you're right. E-Blade is always that big option as an item to go for on this Meepo. If you're able to accelerate fast enough into it. They're still keeping a lot of pressure on Wii. Moving in, dropping him low, forcing him home. Batrider. Finally get some free time. Get some creeps, get some experience. Oh, mind control, bash. Dodges the stun again. Shad really struggling here against this sprint of Slardar. Land these stuns.
When he hits level 6, then they need to be extremely careful where they're gonna stand. And here comes V.
Absolutely does. Flash, half HP. They've got the Sinister Gaze onto Mind Control, and Shad, thanks to that Frost Armor, does get back into that tree line. Storm needs to zip back. Toby's really low on mana here. Pops the wand, turns and battles Mind Control, helped by Io, but GH, unfortunately, at full HP, unable with that salve to keep the Slaughter up and running.
This is why Lesh is one of my favorite position 5s. Good when you're playing aggressive, good when you're playing defensive, can save the towers. Once you hit that level 6, it feels like your team fight becomes 10 times stronger. Man, Phantom Lancer just rushing the Fusel Blade after power treads, putting a lot of pressure on that bottom tower.
Well, this is what I was saying, right? Nigma and I guess Miracle definitely one of those players and one of those teams where they feel that if they can go full aggression, if they can hit that kind of aggressive timing instead of playing defensive and then building up and slowly ramping, they do like to peak, really strike while the iron is hot. What are your thoughts on Iron Talon Lacoste? Because I've just seen it drop in a creep camp and no one gives a shit. Meepo pinged it and no one's going for it.
The old Iron Talon was extremely bad since you got it at 7-minute mark. I mean, even if we get to that perfect timing right at the 7-minute mark, it's still not that great. I have the same feeling for Poor Man's Shield. Iron Talon received a little bit of buff. Now it gives attack speed, but still one of the worst tier 1 items in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I fully agree. Like at least PMS gives you some like agi and some armor and stuff. Like if you're a TB or just like a Luna, any kind of agi hero, it feels decent.
And you can see even Miracle swapped the Iron Talon for Trusty Shovel.
I mean, Shovel is the best item in the game. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Like, seriously, it's sick, man. Here comes we. Zip, zap onto Celery. Shan looking for the stun. He's going to get the Edict out, and Mind Control about to drop. They've got the Lich, but was it worth it? We needs the ball lining away from this one. Flame Break hit him, but the Shad Lesh cannot connect with an additional stun. Aramis trying to hunt anyone down for a toss back, and Kuro may get picked off here. Meepo's coming in with a level 2 net. Oh, he's just out of range. Not able to get a latch onto him. But at the same time, Boom is farming multiple creep camps, multiple lanes at the same time. And Viking looking pretty good to get this Meepo online. He has not been shut down at all.
Oh god, it's 11-minute Diffusal Blade on Phantom Lancer. Like, no one wants to come to his lane anymore. Well, Toby will take one.
That's oh, Miracle's not going to go for it. He ran out of mana, so not doing as much damage, and 500 HP, a little too far to go. That's very much Toby going, oh, he has Diffusal Blade at 12 minutes. Tier 1 mid defended very nicely by Viking. Lich will probably just sit here, Frost Shield spam and try and keep it alive for as long as possible. Top lane is completely abandoned. Tiny is lurking in the shadows off to the left-hand side and looking for the backstab as 4 Radiant heroes on this tier 1 mid should be confronted. Like, I feel, yeah, Viking, they TP back in. They need to confront this, right? They need to go in. Avalanche, toss, Storm Spirit, because they got the stun. Ooh, the Sinister Gaze. Storm, Static Storm is really good. Really good from Kuro. That stops any further chain stunning on the Storm, so we can escape. And PL has arrived. Doppelganger to get the illusions going. Glimpse back. Oh, Shad, lash back to his tier 1. And now Meepo is exposed, open, cold, and alone. Chain Frost is going to bounce a little bit into the creep wave and back onto Miracle's PL, but he's got a Doppelganger, and Toby's being shredded. He's got Wand, he's got GH, he's got mana for days. Shad is stuck down on the low ground, and that's an ultra kill for Wee.
Man, that Static Storm saved that whole fight. It was a 4-man silence, so even Lich was using the Sinister Gaze, but there was no follow-up whatsoever, and GH had to reset the things with the heal coming out from Io. Also, I think you should give Trusty Shovel to Io so you can get all those healing cells, dig them out. Also, I love the rotation from Miracle. He was having a good time on the bottom lane, took the tier 1 tower. There's a fight, he rotates to the mid, and all you want to do is with Phantom Lancer is you don't want to commit too hard, especially at this point since you're squishy. So you just burn all the mana on the important heroes and reset. Every single time Doppel you use it, send the illusions. One more good fight like this, and they can turn that into Roche. Slardr's Corrosive Haze, one of the best spells against Roche.
Absolutely. And then you know, you consider if Miracle had a hood there, does he do as much work? Probably not. Like that's Nigma's real sort of way of playing their modus operandi. They like to group up and get these fights going. Miracle already with Yasha done. What? 2 minutes after he got his Diffusal Blade, he's got a full Yasha completed. Maybe 3 minutes if we're being a little less generous.
2.5, let's say.
Yeah, that's fair. Split
Let's find the middle ground.
Split the difference. Toby, what do you got? Double Bracer, Ether Lens queued up, so not going for Blink or Force Staff or Drums or... I think maybe more interestingly, no Travels. Boots of Travel was the most popular Batrider item for the longest time, wasn't it?
It definitely was. I mean, you can afford to go for it if you have units to TP to, something like a Beastmaster, then it's fine. But also your Leshrac is going for Boots of Travel, so you can't be that greedy.
Yeah, good point, Lesh. Bots into Yules. I need to keep my eye on this dire jungle. Nigma have done the full invade. Tier 2 being whittled away by Miracle as MC and Kuro just trying to keep tabs on Toby and Celery here. What's that? Essence Ring, hello. He's got 2 rings. Arcane Ring and Essence Ring.
Just buy Ring of Protection and pretend you're Sauron.
We jump Celery. Avalanche is going to clip him. They've got the lasso and the nets. Oh, we.
E-Blade.
I know just the place to plant you.
They were trying to relocate out. Io might actually pay with his life because of this. Yeah, they're pinging it out now. They know that Io is going to be returning. Where's Kuro? Kuro's up to the left. Toby's chasing Kuro, so they, yeah, Tether has to go south. Glimpse back will buy a bit of time for Kuro, but the Avalanche combo with the toss. And down you go, while Roshan now opens up for Viking.
That's a big one. Like, I don't think they can contest this. Storm is back in 5 seconds. There's no shrines anymore to TP to, but he can TP to tier 1 tower on mid though, so, or top lane.
Roshan about to drop. Mind Control trying to get in. Storm dips. Oh, Meepo gets the Aegis. We half HP, but in comes the Phantom Lancer now. It's the E-Blade onto Mind Control. Oh, absolutely destroys him. They've got Aramis locked in place here. He tosses a PL illusion into the pit. But the rest of Viking retreat. A 1-for-1 trade, well worth it as they get Aegis on the Meepo, and this is now Viking prime time.
Yeah, after finishing that E-Blade, Tiny finished his Blink Dagger, was running a bit low on mana. Now it's the go time. Like, they want to keep fighting right now. There's no long cooldown ultis on their side besides Flaming Lasso. Also, Lich needs to be careful about using his ulti properly. Twice in a row, it didn't bounce. It was pretty much a single targeted The problem is, it feels like when you're playing against Phantom Lancer, you have Meepo on your team. It always looks like you're on the clock, you know? Because this Phantom Lancer is the ultimate late game carry.
I'm sorry, but Meepo shouldn't be allowed to have like 4 Wraith Bands and Vambrace.
Not allowed.
What?
I'm calling my boy Ice Frog in Seattle right now. Be right back.
How is that illegal move? Like, what? At least he sold one of the Wraith Bands, okay? He's got 3 Wraith Bands and a Vambrace.
You know what bothers me about this item? Why is it called a Vambrace? Vambrace should be called if it's strength only. Like Van Null if it's intelligence, and Van Band.
I'm done with you.
Don't you
Oh my
agree?
God. You are so fucking smart. It's unreal. God damn it, dude. Oh, a single tear just dropped down my eye. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, dearie me. Viking is
Back
smoking.
to the game.
Whew. Vambrace
Now with
and
this
boom.
Manta style finish, he has ability to dodge E-Blade, get away from Earthbind, anything else, Napalm charges, of course.
Radiant's courier has been
And they
killed.
get the mind control courier as well. Don't know what it was doing up there. Enigma. Grouping up around Wii pretty heavily. Miracle's Phantom Lancer just spamming out illusions, defending that top tier 1 without really putting himself in any meaningful sort of threatening position, as they do find a quick grab on Kuroki, but I think Enigma here pretty happy that it's just Kuroki dying there.
For sure, Slardar farming the bottom lane. Once he gets that pipe, that's gonna mitigate a lot of damage from either Lich, Poofs, Tiny, Leshrac.
Bottom tower is under
It's a must-have item.
Blink from Meepo. E-Blade in onto mind control. Let's get some ensnares going, shall we? Oh, he's missed 2 now. Can he get the 3rd one? He's got Avalanche to help him out. Thank you, Aramis. Get that Meepo up and running. Blink, E-Blade, and Hex coming soon. TP's up towards the top outpost. Meepo has Aegis here, and a Chain Frost helping out with the Leshrac bouncing between them so beautifully, but Miracle has manned the dodge out of the ensnare and jumped down. Doppelganger to help, but an E-Blade into Poofs, into
nothing. All right, there it is.
Triple kill for Boom, and Viking looking real hot now.
Yeah, for a moment it looked like real Meepo was having a seizure, but then he was just poofing. Alright, tier 1 tower still standing on mid lane. They should be able to take 2 towers here. Aegis up and running for a minute and 5 seconds. Oh, Batrider with the invis, but they know. They pinged him out.
middle tower has fallen.
Entry season. MC nearly has his pipe done. Kuroki has a smoke here and tons of observers and sentries. Mech up for GH. I just don't know what their angle of attack is. You know, Wii is still farming up towards his Bloodstone down in the bottom lane.
Northwest.
Northwest.
That's the angle that they should be at.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Let's draw the arrow. Let's get them into business, shall we? Clear out the mid wave. Kuro, are we going to smoke up together?
Radiant's top tower has
Holding
fallen.
on to it still. They let the tier 1 top fall. No real retribution here from Nigma. Very passive.
I thought you were gonna say very powerful. Usually it's like that. Once Meepo finishes his Hex, it's gonna be completely different story for both Phantom Lancer and Storm Spirit.
Here's the smoke. They bring Wii back. His Bloodstone's done. He can take out this mid wave with a Remnant or so, but they are being ever so timid. Viking with a smoke of their own. Is the real Meepo with them? Yeah, he sure is. Off they go on a fantastic adventure into the river. Shad gets revealed down on the low ground. And now Nigma just holding their own high ground. Very defensive. Yeah, we standing, making sure this ramp's covered. They're just covering all the staircases. No one's coming up here. And Viking will find absolutely nobody down in the bottom Radiant jungle. So very likely they'll just return to farming.
They need this hard on Phantom Lancer to tank up the illusions, especially against the Lashrak. Any initial burst damage if they decide to go with the Blink Initiation Hex from Meepo. Once he gets it, then he's gonna have it in 1,000 gold.
Meepo's becoming a massive problem. Scythe of Vice is only, well, it's less than 1,000 gold, it's like 900 gold away or so. Phantom Lancer is, what, about a third of his way towards the heart? Pipe has been completed by Mind Control. That might be their signal to potentially look for another smoke, another fight. And again, Kuroki has all of this vision that he's about to place. Enigma, they're going to have all the intel in the world. They've still got 2 Observer Wards up, and they've got another 3 in the hands of Kuro. This map is going to be completely warded and covered for Enigma to make plays.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just save the wards for the late game.
Bottom tower is under attack.
1, 2, 3, 4 placed at the moment.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, the tower trades. Top lane shoved all the way towards tier 3 as the tier 2 bottom picked off by Viking, and they're all TPing out of the jungle. I say all. Toby is left all alone.
Toby, come on, he needs 10 gold to finish the Blink Dagger.
Quick buy. He's got it. He's fine. Hands off the keyboard. He knows he's dead. He bought his Blink, and that's all that matters.
Nice. Alright, any big items? Okay, so Meepo switches from Hex to Scotty. Huh.
Oh.
Interesting. I would have personally get Hex here to control the Storm Spirit, since he does not have a BKB yet.
What's this jump from Wii? Goodness gracious me. The vision coming in from Kuroki, of course, so this whole setup so they can pick off Celery's Lich. And now, you know, the ball is kind of in Enigma's court, right? They've got 2 heroes dead on the side of Viking. They're pushing towards tier 2. Roshan, potential spawn is now. So in the next couple of minutes, we'll see. Oh, in the next couple of seconds. Oh my god, yeah, it's 5 seconds. This is perfect.
No career in the Roche pit, though, so they don't know about it.
How do they have... They've got more observers and sentries coming to them. Kuroki just absolutely spamming them. He'll go back and scout Roshan, it looks like, as well. He'll find out that the big man's... He'll find out that the big man's alive. Oh, he wants bounty runes. Well, that's fair enough. Ward up, bounty rune collection time. Tiny. And Meepo onto the IO. Good lasso catching Storm Spirit as well. Oh, beautiful pickoffs here from Viking. I thought that Miracle and Enigma would get this Roshan, but it's going to be Viking that snipes it from under their very noses.
I love the play from Enigma where they wanted to play aggressive, steal the Roche possibly from Viking, but man, the timing on Viking was absolutely perfect. Let's see it. Buybacks.
Into the Roche. The buybacks are there. Static Storm onto the Tiny only. And there's Boom with the Aegis, the Immortal. Aramis being shredded and ripped limb from limb by this PL of Miracle. Down goes Tiny. And Mind Control turns. Looks for Shad, but Meepo's picked off GH. No saving support, no heals or sustain. Celery with the Chain Frost bouncing. Miracle's half HP, and we will have to jump back to safety. Kuroki, what have you got left in the tank? You've got a glimpse to save your mates, but a jump in from the Meepo, looking for additional target. Does Mind Control just taps Toby on the head, gives him the old bash, but Wee's the one that's caught, trapped in the ensnare, and Boom with a double kill.
They still have the Aegis. She's still on the Lash. Wicked Sick for Meepo. They should just straight run mid. The top lane is in a good position. There's a push coming on the bottom lane, but I don't think they should care about that. Also, Meepo can't deal with it. Phantom Lancer is the ultimate carry, but if they kill the rest, they should not have a problem dealing with the Phantom Lancer. Every single time, they just kill the IO before he can get any spells off.
Oh, sure, Miracle. He's got Manta. Good connected field. Manta into Avalanche Toss. Miracle. He's got another double kill. He's got so many spells, but the E-Blade and the magic damage coming from Viking is just too potent.
And it Meepo. 10th pick Meepo.
Now that's powerful.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Has the Aegis for so long as well. Tier 3. Getting focused down. Aramis looking for the jump into the back. Killed off the Courier of Miracle. And that tower, not long for this world, but yeah, if GH dies, as long as Lesh and or Meepo survive, this Phantom Lancer, he actually doesn't stand a chance. PL has all of his illusions cleared by the Lesh Pulse Nova, and Meepo finds the real one with the nets.
I don't think they can fight this.
It doesn't look like they can. 2.6k HP on the Meepo. And there's 4 of them. 2 lanes of barracks gone. Smoke Up did come through to hide the tiny Lich and Bat for any kind of counter initiation they wanted, but it's going to be a reset now from Viking. Push out the bottom lane, get the wave equilibrium back across the river, and then top lane where that tier 2 still stands tall is where Nigma should be mounting their, really honestly, potentially their last defense. Or we don't get caught. He's done a long zip there, hasn't he? Yeah, back to tier 3. He's all right.
Yeah. Once he sells the raid bans, he's gonna have enough for a full hex. There it is. Still have 2.5 minutes on this Aegis. It's go time. Orb of Destruction, I don't think he should be having that. Just give it to someone else.
Haste. And a telescope that's dropped. The bad thing about Meepo, isn't it? Getting neutral drops, but you can't pick him up. Shad will come and grab it though. With BKB, Kaya, Yules, Shad zipped on by Wee. Storm Spirit desperately scrambling for any target he can find, but the BKB is going to stop the glimpse and Nigma will get nothing. While Meepo TKs to the outpost. Meepo's coming in through the jungle, finds Miracle. He's got the scythe. There we go. Started off strong. They've got a static storm to try and delay this inevitable onslaught against Miracle. Beautiful damage to Mantis to try and evade the danger. Good crush from Mind Control. And Shad Yules up in the air of the storm with split up there that caught out Aramis is down, but so is the Storm Spirit, dead with no buyback, and Boom is godlike. Kuroki follows him to the grave. Mind Control, he's got nothing left. He's going to slide into the tree line. He's got a salve. He's got a sprint. Okay, he had something left. He's got a bit of life remaining, but the trouble is the rest of the team has crumbled behind him, and there really doesn't seem to be any form of defense from Nigma.
No one has a buyback besides Mind Control at this point, so go take the tower, get the mega creeps. Oh my god, he's gonna have another Scotty soon.
Top tower is under attack. Radiant
22,000 net worth. Oh, well, that's GH dead. No buyback for 40 seconds. Storm is about to respawn. PL gone for 30. This final line of barracks is gone though. Kuroki 4 stabs away, but is about to die in his fountain. Tick stab, flame break. Mind Control and Wee battling into Toby, but Shad and Boom, they come in and they are almighty. A beyond godlike Meepo. Has he even died this game?
He died twice. Once at what, 4th minute mark. GG's called, Gary. What a performance from Viking. GG.
Yeah, Viking take game 1. Nigma dropped game 1 here in the group stage. The first match to be played by them and Viking. A European mix stack. Completely decimates them with a Meepo.
Yeah,
I am in.
This game shows how
and it comes out on the Huskars next time. That'll be the final item, the real completionist item.
Insane status resistance with the Titan Sliver, the Halberd, and the Satanic.
Yeah.
Which to waste them.
I think you keep the Sliver for the rest of the game until you get like tier 5s, honestly. I don't think there's a better tier 4 item for Huskar.
Probably not.
I mean, this is the kind of game we're saying that Eddie could honestly win late as well. I know up against an OD lone druid, you wouldn't really expect a Huskar, but he's going to be effective this game.
Yeah, I mean, OD and Lone Druid are not necessarily like late game carries in themselves. OD can be to some extent, but they also tend to be more of like the mid-game focus.
But Alchemy, Lone Druid has 8 slots. How can he not be? 12 slots, sorry. That's my bad being terrible. I agree with you. Qualifier is definitely going to start falling off. I'm not sure what the build he's gone for. Very impactful mid-game kill. But there we go. Look at the Zidrex has to turn this around. BKB used. They go for Boxy. A Stampede to disengage. However, the Astral Imprisonment kind of screwed over Mickey. They get again with a skewer and the duel. Ensure that Mickey cannot get away from this. 60 seconds without him. And Zidrex will proceed to go for this Roshan.
Yeah, Mickey tried to just burst the Huskar by dropping Sanities right at the very beginning of the fight. Didn't calculate the damage, and honestly, Zidrex wasn't even close to dying there.
No, he doesn't have much mana, but he also has a lot of HP to, make up for it. So it's not really that big a deal. And Oracle's always there to heal him as well. So if you can burst him, sure, but it's very risky play.
Dire structures.
I didn't quite notice. I don't think the Fate's Edict even came out. I think he literally just tanked the Sanities, no problem.
I'm pretty sure he tanked it as well. I'm not certain, to be honest. I wouldn't put my hand in the fire for that. I'm sorry. I am the play I play. I'm just meant to call out the random things I see. I can't get that level of analysis in my head. This is Assault Cuirass for Boxy, by the way. That was the buckler that he was going for in the beginning. Was for Assault Cuirass. Fascinating.
Yeah, just trying to help his team tank up against this Magnus, who is almost all the way done with the Daedalus. Going to be a ton of damage. Excalibur continues to impress on this Magnus in this game, hitting very nice RPs except for that one, but he's really, really carrying his team from this position too.
The one we just saw against Centaur and Bear is like it's alright, I can understand the purpose of that if you want to initiate with that. Okay, Zidrex is going a bit too ham, he has Aegis, I guess, so yeah, kill whatever he sees. There's a Basher though on the Bear now, and Zidrex is burning him alive. That's a lot with the RP, almost! Again, the fear by Qualifier. Quick on those fingers! Qualifier though will still lose the Bear. Sniped him, and has to enjoy it.
That is not the direction of...
Run! Run, my friend! This poor Lone Druid has no Bear, does not want to waste it because he knows he's most likely dead.
Not even 2 pairs of boots is enough to get away with this catch coming out from Singularity.
Oh, he did. He gave the Bear gave him the phase boots to run a bit faster. That is a great, hilarious play. Good catch. One for each foot. Zuya, there we go. Insania, Histajoy. Nah, I can't find him. The blink got deactivated by Taiga. And they're cutting lanes there. Boxy playing the carry role yet again. That's really important, actually. But the tower is not. There's a lot of ways to keep those creeps alive. Between the Snapfire, the Legion Commander, and the Oracle. Finally, the last creep dies, and they'll have to do without him. Backdoor protection will be reinstated soon enough, but they should be able to take the tier 3 before they do.
They may be able to get this melee racks, actually.
What a
nice
stomp.
4-man stomp.
Can they follow this up with anything? No! They just Zidrex to jump on them. That was a bit hasty. Nope, apparently not. He had BKB to just back out. He has Aegis, though. If he gets killed now, he doesn't come back with a BKB. They're just gonna chase after him. They don't have Stampede. 5 more seconds, but those 5 seconds meant everything.
Radiant are scanning.
Tier 3 is claimed. They will back out safely. Reset for another potential push. Aegis is going to be available for probably another minute or so. And not a whole lot of other objectives to claim at the moment. Maybe they'll rotate for this top tier 2. But no bounties, no power runs really for another couple minutes, so probably just gonna go again here.
Ooh, the skewer almost came out, but again, the fear on Qualifier. Just learned that cast point is impossible to beat. They do get the kill on the Bear.
No Bear for 81
seconds. And one on the second one? Ooh, that is bad. That is very bad. How are they gonna defend this? SNG is knocking on your door. Liquid, what are you gonna do? Oh, apparently just lose your Bat Rider. That's what you're gonna do. Nothing else you can. I mean, I guess Qualifier can always turn into true form and just tank some damage. He's just gonna cut the lane. It's the best thing you can do with this useless hero right now.
It's gonna be 2 sets to Rex.
It is. They have a really good pushing power between Snapfire, Legion Commander, Magnus, and buffs for days. People to the tower, that was a terrible spawn box here. And they catch you with a cookie. And they should be able to kill him. Heaven's Halberd's annoying, but they did steal.
Mickey?
How was that us? I was gonna say, there's no Rubik in this game. That was Mickey. Okay. Whatever, doesn't matter. They get the tower, they get the Rex. That was confusing for me, but they get the Rex. They might even get a counter kill here against Rex. He still has his Aegis though, it's a bit difficult.
I just
And
don't think
without
they
a
have
lone
any
druid.
damage. I don't think they can kill this Huskar right now, especially with the Oracle behind him. Yeah, that's a 13k gold lead. 33 minutes in for Singularity. One set of racks left.
They have no way also of cutting the line, right? Cutting the team fight. No way of just sniping the Oracle quickly. Which is putting them in a difficult position because he's getting his false promise off really easily every single team hit.
Yeah, I feel like this draft is a little bit suspect in terms of how it's coming together. Like, I don't feel a ton of synergy. You know, they're going to go for kind of a desperation smoke here, trying to get some momentum going, but this Lone Druid and OD are not really synergizing very well in terms of how they're taking these fights.
I love it. This mango tree is Singularities, right? Yeah. It is a great placement for the mango tree. It's so hard to cut down, and I haven't seen it. This, I mean, doesn't see him because they're smoked, right? But it's a really good positioning for it. Learn your mango tree's positioning, folks. Because if you're a real support, you know how to put this tree down.
I believe that smoke was potentially spotted out by this ward in the base from Singularity.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah, I see it. I
Either
can see
way,
that.
to be
That's a good
expected.
Yeah, it's not an uncommon warding spot, to be honest. I would have guessed that you would have dewarded that, to be honest. Like, this is probably the most common warding spot, right? In the high ground. There we go. Lich. Sania realizes. No? He just up to the sentry, but he doesn't know that they're there. This is very valuable vision. It's been there for almost 3 minutes now.
That's a dead Lich.
Yep. You activate the BKB for this, which I don't think was necessary, but whatever. Oh, the telescope was actually really useful on Hest. I didn't think of that. A duo with a bit of extra range is always nice.
Oh yeah. The old Aether Lens 4-staff meme build on Legion Commander.
Yeah, that's the only build, right? How else are you supposed to point? Actually, an interesting little tidbit of Legion since we're at a point before we fight this. Did you know the Broom Handler actually increases the range of duel? Because it's bugged. And duel is supposed to be your melee range, and sometimes Broom Handle increases it by accident.
Oh really? That's kind of cool.
So stupid. See, little tidbits of information I bring sometimes.
I like it.
I'm gonna take a tower here. So it's just simple but steady, right? So slow and steady. Sorry, by Singularity. There's no need to rush. We just take in the last towers. You know, you don't have the Aegis anymore, so there's no need to rush this.
Yeah, I mean, how do you kill anybody on the side of Singularity? This is a Snapfire. Position 4 support with 3,000 health, and Greaves,
Oh my God.
and a Halberd, and a Force Staff.
This is crazy. I mean, DNZ is not position 4, I would say. She is more farmed than the OD. Oh my God. Yeah,
What a hero.
That's your buyback. But if you lose Suzuki in the process, that's a really good kill there by Liquid. And they can only capitalize on this. Taiga goes out in the duel. They catch the OD, and they should have enough damage. That duel will complete with a victory for Hesta Joy. As Quakefa's Bear is being disintegrated here by the Huskar. Burning up. There's a stun onto 2. Nice fear for the Bear. Excalibur eats the cheese. And that is the surprise they were saving up their sleeve. Singularity, we're not going to lose Excalibur there. They get the kill on the OD. That's your main source of damage. Without Lich, you have no defense for these towers. How are you supposed to win this now? Boxy and Taiga, it's time to pull the same thing you did this major. Come on. You have some help from the Lone Druid. It should be easier, right? If you can do it against Virtus Pro, you can do it against Singularity. I don't see not a believer here. Quakefa in trouble. There we go. RP from behind catches the Lone Druid. They want to get rid of this Quakefa, and they will in due time. He's been disarmed. He's burning up. Quakefa has even been dueled. So they guarantee his kill as they try to finish off Taiga as well. The cookie makes it impossible for Taiga to get away. Boxy, he's doing his damnedest to make sure this throne will not fall. But Boxy, no more 4-man stomps for you as they continue to chase him away. As Singularity concentrating on the objectives. And Boxy occasionally. There's the shield to help him. Zinrax just wants all the help in the world. There's the Heaven's Hammer to stop him, but Boxy cannot beat this BKB. They're forced to buy back. Excalibur keeps attacking this base. And with a BKB AKB, they'll guarantee the Ancient Singularity. We'll take this game number 1 against Liquid. Okay.
Yeah. Great drafts from Singularity. That Oracle, plus the Huskar, plus the Snapfire and the Legion Commander. Really, really comboing well. I mean, Snapfire.
Dire team pick.
So they really like Slaughter, huh?
Remaining.
First, it's like fucking TI again. Give mind control Tide. Now it's give mind control Slardar.
Radiant
Well, he was not having a fun time.
No.
Same opening.
Oof.
I like this new called Granny with Slardar, where you have
Yes.
a jump,
Radiant
double
team
stun.
ban.
And like Blightstone on Granny as well.
Dire team ban.
Oh, they didn't pick Tiny's band. Tiny and Meepo band. Yeah, boy.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
What's next? OGC against aggressive. Oof.
What's next? OG seed against?
Aggressive.
Radiant
The-
team
Oh, Lil's
ban.
team.
Lil, yeah.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay. 5 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. Here we are with game 2 of this series in the group stage between Nigma and Viking. And if you hadn't noticed, Viking 1-0 to the good in this best of 2. It's the group stage here for the ESL 1 Los Angeles Major. I'm Gareth, joined by Lacoste. And Lacoste, it's a bit of deja vu here. You know, we watched True Sight, we saw TI with Nigma picking Tidehunter for mind control over and over again, and they've grabbed him up a Slardar for the second game in a row.
Team pick. Radiant
Sometimes
team
being
ban.
stubborn is good, as goes for TI Grand Finals last year. I don't think that's the case, but Slaughter as a hero. I love him. I just don't feel like you should be first picking him because there are responses to it. I like what the Viking did in the first game. Seems like they're doing the exact same thing in the second one. Put the
10
Lash
seconds
against
remaining.
them.
Dire team pick.
Having a matchup where you have Slaughter against melee hero is much better. All right,
Ooh.
all right. So a little bit of cheese added once again. Instead of Meepo, who's banned out, now they have Huskar. Oracle, good with dealing against the Batrider, and magical damage from Lich, from Lashrak, also has a built-in disarm against Huskar.
10 seconds remaining.
You also have
one
Nyx
of the
against
things that-
Batrider.
Dire team ban.
Yeah. Next assassin, great against Bat. This Lashrak, uncontrollable damage, so it's gonna be pretty easy to stun people. Also, Nyx Assassin has a built-in break with his ulti against the Huskar, which is deal.
And they do have minus armor as well, right? They've got the Corrosive Haze, they're going to have physical damage, and a bit more from Razor.
10 seconds
I'm just wondering here if Razor potentially is what Nigma feel is a counter to Huskar, you know, with the damage drain, but also the fact that Razor is a pretty fast BKB buyer. You know, you don't need a really primary item. You can go straight from, you know, treads or phase into a drums or something, and then BKB. So you are ready to fight. You're ready to really turn the tides of battle and continue whacking into Huskar, like you said, with, you know, disarm and saves and everything they've got. It's a pretty decent
10
pick for them.
seconds remaining.
As Viking yet again removed the Bloodseeker.
5 seconds.
Even with Slark
remaining.
back, like Slark was banned in the last game as well, they still banned this Bloodseeker out.
Yeah, seems like they are having trouble playing against Bloodseeker in general.
Enigma with their final ban. What are we looking for? So I'm kind of assuming here Boom will be the Huskar mid. Give Toby the Batrider again. Celery Lich. Lesh is still a little bit flexible though, right? Could swing one way or the other. Not entirely sure where that lad is heading. Could be 4, could be 1. Could even put the Batrider into a support position if you're really desperate to do so. But right now, I think Viking lacking a way to really control a team fight. They've got good single target from Bat, they've got good magic damage from Huskar, Lesh, Lich, but they don't have great ways of stunning or stopping Enigma from what they're doing.
They could swap Lashrak to offlane and put something else on the safe lane. They still have the last pick, so they can adjust accordingly. But I like Enigma's draft way more in this game. They have the answers, especially liking the Nyx Assassin as a counter to Lashrak and Batrider.
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Stampede. Oh, hello. Medusa. Well, first of all, the Centaur ban, really nice. You know, stop the Stampede to mess up with the Razor static link, the initiation from Nyx and Slardar, another saving mechanism, or initiate. Like, I wanted initiation, stuns, control, and that Centaur would have been a beautiful pick for Viking.
I think you need any kind of Diffusal Blade carrier. Slark's still in a pool, not the greatest matchup against the Slardar. And shift Lashrak to the side lane. Is there anything else? Phantom Lancer is still available.
The Gyrocopter, you know, if you're Thompson, just buy Diffusal Blade. Okay, Diffusal Blade Huskar. Let's go, dude. That's what we're gonna see. It's coming.
You can get Terrorblade as well. Build the Diffusal. I mean, it's not necessarily a must-have, but it's definitely a plus.
I've got a decent amount of time to think about it. So Medusa, Razor, 2 heroes that can handle the Huskar pretty nicely. Is this a change in... It definitely feels like a change in tempo, but a change in tact from Nigma as well. This Medusa hard carry, but very much a timing hero. You know, 25 minutes in, you're looking for your first real big item and a half or so. You know, you've got stats to build up, move towards your, I guess, Manta Style or Skadi, whatever it may be, as quickly as you can.
Surprised that the Medusa was not picked in the previous patch where there was no limits to neutral items. You just get 3 items planted on Medusa, but they decide to go with Omni Knight. So they have a saving ability for Huskar, gives him extra strength, status resistance. I've been rambling all day about mana burn, and now Nigma picks Medusa and Nyx Assassin. I'm getting the vibes like a year and a half ago when these 2 heroes were extremely popular, playing against heroes like a Tide Hunter, who was also popular back then, where he doesn't have mana to use his Ravage. No matter how you itemize, unless you get a BKB, you're gonna get your mana burned. They picked Razor as a so-called counter to Huskar. When he gets on top of him, steals the damage, so he's not gonna be that effective. But still, I would prefer to have Razor on the safe lane and Medusa on mid.
And they did switch the Batrider into the 4 role here, so Celery 5 on the Lich, Toby will be the offlane. Omni Knight, Shad again, they kind of pause one on that Lesh. GH and Mind Control, that's a Nyx Assassin Slardar dual lane if they want to run it that way. We'll get ourselves into game and find out how they set out their pieces, figure out the lay of the land. Here in game 2 of this best of 2, it's group stage time. Nigma lost game 1. Not a great for them, and they're up against another cheesy pick, the Huskar, in game 2 here after losing to the Meepo earlier on. Viking
Prepare for
probably
battle.
feeling pretty good about this. Adrenaline pumping, morale boosted. Taking down Nigma like that. Boom probably very happy with his performance. Let's see if he can continue riding that wave through this game now. Weehar's Razor is going in towards mid, and Miracle's going bottom. I'll scout out the lanes and see what they're dealing with here. I feel like I agree with you though in the way that they should be setting things up.
Let me just look at the attack range. Razor 475. Medusa should have 600. Yeah, 600 it is.
What's Razor's damage? 54 on Dusa, 55. Yeah, pretty close in the damage as well. Quelling Blade up on
30
Toby with a
seconds
Windlace.
to battle.
So it looks like he feels he's going to be against the Razor as well. He's gone for Windlace. Try and run away from Razor. Top bounty rune. It looks like it will be place that both teams contest. A 3v3 about to kick off. GH not leveling anything up just yet, hiding away behind the single tree, but he has been scouted. Bat, Lesh, Lich,
The battle
running down the ramp. As Mind Control controls the rune. Oh no, he's run off to try and get a kill. Aramis will take the rune, but they're going to lose their Lesh now, potentially. Kuroki, Fortune's End on cooldown for another 5. And Shad, speedy Disco Pony, gets away thanks to sticky napalm stacks being built up on those 2 melee heroes.
Well, bottom lane's gonna get free farm for Medusa anyway, unless they decide to get tri-lane going on top, tri-lane against tri-lane, and then Omni Knight can creep skip, manipulate the creep wave. Still, Medusa will get the free farm out of it.
And they will keep that Razor in the mid lane against Huskar. So Mind Control being tri-laned around. Definitely a change in tact here from Nigma, giving the Slardar a much better start.
Interesting skill build from Boom on the mid lane. Inner Fire level 1.
Ooh,
He just
secure
wants
range
to have,
creeps.
he wants to have a knockback against the static link. Pretty smart.
Yeah, that's really clever. He didn't go for boots or anything first. He has them queued up now. Very intelligent little shift in play there. Tri-lane continues up top. They start off with the Fortune's End. And they should have a crush. Do they have a bash? They've got the charges ready. Impale, perfect from GH, but Mind Control can't close the gap fast enough. Has to turn. Needs to fight. He can't run. He can't hide. He doesn't have a crush here either, and no magic stick. He's in so much trouble. First blood yet again spilt by Viking onto Mind Control, and Aramis just keeps the sticky napalm stacks going. He dodges the Impale, and he gets another one. 2 for nothing in this top lane for Viking. Beautiful stuff.
Yes, you have Oracle as a, we're gonna call it counter to a Batrider, but it's a tri-lane, so you can't use it on everyone. Which means that at least one hero will get the extra stacks, and that's gonna be the target. The one who's purged, they will instantly swap it.
Yeah, and it feels like Kuroki needs to be using it as an initiation tool. Unfortunately here, though, a great splitter from Shad stops them in their tracks. And again, sticky napalm across 3 heroes, like you're saying, an absolute nuisance for Nigma to be dealing with. And top lane looks like they will reset, just fall back a little bit. Seller and Aramis both pretty low on mana. So we'll take a look, down to bottom lane. Miracle has been bullied back by Toby, but the arrival of Kuroki will try and put an end to the shenanigans down here as a 9 for 1 Omni, 10 for 1 Medusa, pretty evenly trading farm.
If Omni can close the gap, he can harass Medusa. Medusa 280 with Windlace. Omni Knight has 322. Very interesting number.
Oh, crap, Mind Control. See you, buddy. I was looking at this Invis Huskar in the mid lane. Okay, he's not going to mess around with Weed too much. Static Link is now back up. And we will go for this. shouldn't be able to kill the Huskar here. Or maybe with a Panther Field and the final hit comes through. Barely scrapes away with a kill. Really well done by Wee, but overstepping that Huskar for sure.
Also,
Toby
with place. All right, Toby dies at the bottom lane.
Oh yeah, win lace for Razor.
Man, this mid lane's not going well. Huskar 4-1, Razor 16 and 12. So Aramis comes mid, tries to help him out. Can they dive? It's a lot of damage. Do you think we should have like fire that? We had that, right?
We had it for like 2 days or something, right? I was so excited, like, oh yeah, Cinder Brew, and I can use Sunstrike on Cinder Brew, and there's fire damage and elemental damage. Like, no. This game is complicated enough as it is.
It was cool while it lasted.
Yeah, it was a bit of fun. So back to dual lanes now. GH and Mind Control 2v2 against the Lesh and Lich. Huskar, you know, the help of the Batrider was there. Aramis now out of mana again, but he's got a bottle and he's just spamming mangoes. I want to see how many mangoes. He's bought like 10 mangoes.
Top lane, Gary.
Hello, top lane. Hello, Shad. He's fine. He's fine.
You didn't even bother with the camera.
I did. I moved. I watched. I looked. Huskar with boots. What's the move speed now? 311 against 336. So Huskar, you know, a little bit ahead. As bounty runes, 10 seconds to spawn. Batrider heads down south with Nyx and Slardar controlling both of the northern ones. Really here, the Dire team need to get a couple down in the bottom part of the map, especially to refill the bot on the Batrider. GH though stepped a little bit too far forward. Edict is there tickling him away. Shad and Celery put him to an end.
Lesh is such a great hero with setting up things at the safe lane or side lane, having the extra ability to slow down. If you have anyone that gets on top of him, Flashback didn't even have boots to close the gap, but if someone just oversteps their boundary, more than enough.
Man, Razor is 25 and 17. Medusa 30 and 11. Nigma are just completely out farming their opponents in this one. Like, Slardar has the same CS as Huskar. Definitely not what Viking were expecting or hoping for.
One thing that worries me is these heroes don't build into BKBs that early on, and there's no way to itemize against the mana burn. Mystic Snake, man, Mystic Snake on level 15. This Medusa is getting a lot of levels, plus 25 mana gain. Also, mana burn will be up and running a bit later, since you just want to max the other spells.
Mind Control doesn't connect that crush. Split up does land, but Kuroki yet again here to bail his team out and maybe a bonus kill. Cherry on the top will be this Lich if they can find him. Purifying Flames is ready and it snipes him out. Celery actually the one to get the final touch as, oh, hey, baby, we kills off Aramis. Looks like the Batrider went for an aggressive play there. Huskar back in the jungle, but we just says thank you very much.
Not even close. And Razor sitting at 3, almost 400 HP, 11 magic wand charges, plus a Fairy Fire. Someone needs to go back to school, do the magic. Alright, disarm V.
Weehar must be absolutely chuckling to himself. Dead. Gifted. Absolutely gifted. 2 kills on a silver platter. Batrider and then Huskar, one by one they go rolling on into the bank account of Wee's Razor. My goodness gracious me.
Sometimes you don't even have to gank. The people just do weird stuff and they die.
Let the gank come to you.
Exactly.
Top lane again. Here's the setup we've been waiting for. Crush only onto the Lesh though. Mind Control very low on HP. And GH, good save. That Fate's Edict buys time through the magic damage of Shad, but the physical of the Edict will finish him off. And the Courier, one hit, not gonna get it. Kuroki though will be the target of choice as they switch across to the Oracle. A smoke, a wand, a stick, a fairy fire. Oh goodness, He's got Fate's Edict. He's got a heal. He's gonna run back behind the tower. He's ticking down, but he's all right. Kuroki and Mind Control will survive. Oh god, don't step forward. Lich has Frost Blast. 2. Flame break yet again up onto you. Kuroki turns, gets the Fortune's End, gets the kill. Celery wasn't expecting that on 2 match. Stun from GH. Mind control's there to continue on forward, but Shad will be alright to fall back and away.
Gary, what is going on in this game? People are diving too much, dying too much, whatever you want to call it. Mid lane, V. Huskar needs to be careful about his positioning. With the Windlace, Razor has move speed advantage, 4 points in static link.
Genuinely no idea. Toby trying to help out his Huskar, but does it really matter when this Razor is ripping you apart? And one by one, yet again, as Wii is just given kills. Celery might be a triple for him. Fortune's End, the raindrops pop, but in comes Lash, and Wii will be stopped at long last, put to an end, and Kuroki's gone a bridge too far. Deep, deep, deep. No way. He can't. The cost?
No, or I was just waiting. Lash was fake pumping the stun couple of times. Oh, Fate's Edict can't save you against Diabolic Edict.
That is true.
We're gonna talk about Medusa, Gary, for a very long time. Let's check what she's doing. 63-15, level 8, 4 points in split shot, so she can just go back to jungle, give the space to anyone who needs it on the lane.
Razor sees the Huskar bottom and is like, oh, right. I'm going to come down here and play. And Miracle tells him to get out of his lane. He wants the full farm rotation. Looks like it'll be Treads into Manta for Miracle's Medusa for now. Or Toby. Static Link will drain a lot of damage. Plasma Field, but no continuation. The stuns and supports, they're off wandering elsewhere. Celery gets spotted out by MC. Frost Shield's gonna keep him pretty safe. Mind Control, if he gets another, like a bash here and another crush, can he do it? Fortune's End will definitely secure this one. Sinister Gaze at the tower. Kuroki steal it? No. Gives it to Mind Control, allows him to take the kill, and there is nobody to stop him. No one's TPing top tier 1. Batrider's lurking deeper to try and get bounty runes.
A lot of pressure on the bottom tower from Edict. Yeah, there's no way they're defending this one.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Enigma's lineup will excel at 20-25 minute mark once Medusa gets 1 to 2 items. Razor is already having an extremely good time.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
GH. Invis rune. Still not level 6, but he spots the Huskar, and this is where we wants to be. Hunting Huskar, but a good Chain Frost actually bouncing in between the Nyx and Razor allows Boom a little bit of distance. Celery's gonna take another couple of cracks at the whip from Wii, and there we go. Lich finally falls. Wii, with the help of the creeps, will get past the tower, not getting aggroed upon, but Boom with a life break forward does close the gap, pushes Razor back, and Shad secures a dominating streak for himself.
That's a lot of XP for those two. And they have 2 abilities to push them out. They have Flame Break and what's this one called? I always forget. Inner Fire. Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower
Sounds up a little bit.
attack.
Miracle. Jungle time. Tier 1 has gone. Not as safe down there as it once was. I know, a 1v1 man battle between Toby and Mind Control. And the rest of Nigma coming up to join the squad. Kuroki still only level 5, but they're gonna go diving. Impale, not quite on the mark, but the Carapace connects onto the Lash with a big mana burn there, and the heals and saves from Kuroki keeping Mind Control up. Means that the dive continues, but the Lash has so much damage output. Blown up completely, Wii is gone, and well, that Oracle can't stand up against it either. Good rotation and great reactions from Viking.
They're very limited on the tower damage at the moment. Also, I believe there was some kind of miscommunication or people are not paying attention. Oracle was still level 5. We
Radiant's middle tower
went
is
really
under
deep
attack.
inside, and I mean, you're trying to go on the Lash who's hiding in the jungle in those juke spots with Edict and Pulse Nova running. Yes, you had a good start, but you also need to start thinking about your defensive items. He has Boots of Travel right now, can be anywhere on the map. Okay, GH, bottom lane. They're trying to set things up. Apparently it got cancelled, or he misclicked. Razor was deeping to the bottom lane.
Oracle will come out to the outpost now. GH, Carapace goes for the stun. They've got Lesh keeping in behind though. Shad is here and they've got a lasso with the magic damage of Lesh. Shad says absolutely not. You stop this right now. We and Kuroki just couldn't get there in time. And Kuro is still level 5.
Apparently Lashrack's Boots of Travel are working. It should have been the opposite, like Razor should have TP there and they could have killed that Batrider with setup from Nyx Assassin. And I love the build on Nyx, 4 points in Carapace.
Yeah, I mean against Lash and Batrider, right, it's pretty damn good. Toby working on Vlad's after the arcane boots. Pretty slow going for these two offlaners, right? Slardar is yet again working on his hood into pipe rush, it looks like. Seemingly the kind of tactic they're going for on this Slardar. Get pipe, get blink, be that tanky frontliner who just gets up in the face of your opponents as much as possible.
Medusa, Rapier queued up. What up?
No, really?
Nah, I don't think he's gonna go for it. There's no reason to go for a Razor as your second item.
I mean, that's a big power play. Wait, GH just solo... Oh, Huskar was low HP farming jungle. GH just finds him. Oh, Kuroki's hit level 6 at long last. Manta for Miracle. Pop out the illusions, push out some waves. Bounty runes coming up again. Shad shows his face. Kuroki doesn't want to kick things off with just Miracle here. Yet again, all of their real team fight is elsewhere. Mid lane, top lane, the big stuns, and Weave Razor farming back in the jungle. Boots of Travel up for him and going for drums. I would definitely expect bots, drums, BKB here for Razor, right?
I think it's a bit too late to go for drums right now. Since you already have Boots of Travel, move speed is there.
And finishes them off. There's the BKB queued up as well. Definitely going for that 20-minute-ish timing. But what's the chance here that Miracle goes for a BKB too? Is that a possibility? If you just have two BKB carries, your Razor and Medusa, and you run at them?
They have good frontliners, and the save from Oracle, there's really no need for BKB. And there's no mana burn on their side, so he's pretty safe. He doesn't have to get BKB at all this game.
Has fallen. Dire's courier has been killed.
Jeez, GH, leave them alone. These poor little couriers. Celery's trying to get around the corner, looking for the Sinister Gaze to cancel TP. I think GH might be done for. Oh, he gets off. Oh, that clumsy. Oh, that's clumsy net from Lesh. Okay, that opens up the Sinister Gaze. Tries to go for the stun. And GH gets a courier snipe and he forces two heroes to chase him, but in the end, it will be a continuation of that streak for Shad. We really haven't seen Boom have a game here, have we? This Huskar, 6k net worth, now has the armlet, phase boots, triple bracer, working on the halberd. Usually Huskar is this, you know, flick the switch, I'm ready to go at a certain point, but it's been slow, kind of arduous work for him. It's been difficult to build up.
The thing about Huskar with neutral items as well is he doesn't necessarily need to snowball. That hero can farm pretty fast, even jungle, and that's a big kill if they can get it.
It sure is. He's got pipe, he's got 12 wand, mind control, flame break does tick him off to the right hand side, but they've got Toby with a frost shield, Lich helping out. In comes the false promise. Mind control kept alive by Kuro, but the lasso's there. Can they get some more heals into MC? Kuro, he's gone. GH with a good Carapace, and MC still somehow alive. Allows the Slardar and Nyx to try and escape away, but they've got a Yules into a stun. Boom is there, and well, there goes GH. Absolutely, oh, good stun. Nice 2-man fail. Opens up a wee hole with a static link to their Guardian Angel. Boom, TP's out. Toby. Oh, he's been cancelled by the Stone Gaze. Boom, he can't move. He's got no damage. Oh, he's absolutely done for. Celery comes in to try and help his buddies, but it's just save your buddy syndrome. Toby, nothing left to give. Chain Frost bouncing all the way around, and Bat Rider still here with a Leshrac. They want to continue fighting. Luckily for Viking, no more initiation available for Nigma, or else that could have been very easily a 5-man wipe.
Yeah, once Medusa shows up in the team fight and uses Mystic Stake once or twice, it feels like the fight just completely is over. And they were chasing for a really long time. The one item that might change things a little bit is Heaven's Halberd on the Huskar, but since he was not having that good of an early game, it's gonna be delayed.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Man, Shad is all over the place.
Yeah, still wicked sick. MC and we both have to turn tail and run. They are creating a nice little zone here for Miracle to continue farming, though, as the Dire reclaim their jungle at long last. 5k lead, though, for Nigma, closing in on that 20-minute mark where really we expect things to pick up even further for the Radiant side. BKB halfway there for we. Medusa, look us. Medusa still has that rapier queued up, you know?
He's passing the secret shop, had 3.8k gold and didn't buy it.
Oh, hello.
There's really no reason to go for it.
Mind Control's got a nice little crush in the middle of them all. Boom, dropping low, but they've got the disarm onto Wii. No more right clicks, no more damage, and Kuroki force promising himself, looking for the sniper to celebrate to get one more purifying flames to take out that poor little lich. But it is Viking on the rampage. They are looking forward for more targets. No lasso, but they've got a flame break and a sticky napalm up to 5-6 stacks. That is just utter decimation.
Straight into Roche. You have Huskar, you have Dragon Scale, so damage over time will be there. Let's see. Uses the life break. Buyback. We've seen this before in game number 1.
And Mind Control, he'll get a freebie. Aramis gives his life. Roshan not very low here, so not really a great opportunity for Nigma to steal it. And Viking do bring their numbers around. They've got 4 heroes on this ramp coming down into the Roche pit again. They need to scout out. Are they inside? Oh, we got pushed out of the pit. That could have potentially been a go.
I'm just gonna pick up the bounties. Medusa's still 5.3k gold inside the bank. I mean, he can buy it. One of the reasons why he didn't buy any components, so they know he's gonna go for that Divine Rapier.
What are his actual other legit options? Skadi?
Skadi, Butterfly.
Right?
Yeah. If you just want raw damage, you can get Daedalus, but I think getting that as third item gives you like more value once you get either Butterfly or Skadi. I mean, he might buy it. Let's see.
Oh, rapier! Oh!
This has to be one of the fastest rapiers ever purchased.
What the fuck? 21-minute rapier. He's going to go into BKB next, but here's the fight in the middle lane behind the tier 1. Mind Control sprinting forward with a flame break back. Shad turns to look to battle with the Chain Frost bouncing into the creeps and over towards Wii. A good Stone Gaze forcing Boom and Toby back.
She has a rapier!
Disengage. Guys, the Medusa has a rapier. Run away! Get out of here! Miracles is hunting them. Hunting them. I guess Rapier now with True Strike, your attacks cannot miss. He doesn't care about the evasion from Halberd or anything.
Alright, straight into Roche pit. Corrosive Haze on Roche with that all extra damage.
Where's Razor now? Sad. Okay, he's nearly. Oh, hello. Lasso. To the core. Mix Assassin. He does have Carapace, and he's got a lot of HP to work with here, so turns and runs as Battle Rider's initiation comes to naught. Huskar will jump him, though, next with a good 3-man stun to really lock down Roshan for this Rapier Medusa, who shreds the Battle Rider in a couple of clicks. And Mind Control, desperate to catch the Huskar. He has the Omni, healing and buffing, but the right-click damage is just too much to work up against, and another stun comes down from Nigma to stop the Toby Omni from retreating. 3 heroes down, and this Medusa Rapier with Aegis ready just seems unstoppable at this point.
500 damage with the split shot. All right, they're just gonna try to end the game here.
Well, Wee dies back at base. Shad and Celery somehow catch the Razor all the way back there. But wait, where are they going for tier 4? They're going for fucking throne. What? What is happening? Yeah, they're like, hang on a second. Let's just finish off get the barracks, get the buildings first. We'll work it slowly but surely. Yules into stun. Shad sets it up. Carapace beautifully done from GH. Can he get the secondary stun? Not quite there with the Impale. But there's a full lane. 23 minutes in by Rapier. Kill buildings.
Couple of Napalm stick charges, but she's just gonna stand her ground. Also, Stone Gaze is available.
Like, you can't initiate on this Medusa. Miracle stands forward, has Aegis Rapier. You can't go past her, you can't go through her, you can't go on her. What do you have left? Look at that, she hits once. Like 10% of Shad and Aramis's HP goes. Another Carapace onto that split earth. Wonderfully done by GH. MVP so far on this next, but a Chain Frost bouncing in is well placed and well timed. But the Fate's Edict, Magic Community for Mind Control is beautiful. Shad is deep in behind enemy lines, but Toby!
Oh my god, that damage!
Miracle, Mystic Snake and a couple of clicks, that is it for you. No TP cancel for Wii. This is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Huskar doesn't even have Halberd yet. He doesn't have a way to stop this. Look at the concave. The concave from Nigma is here. They've got 4 heroes all surrounding the Medusa, who is frontlining, and there is like no entry point at all for Viking. Okay, you stun the Medusa. Full mana yet again from Mystic Snake. Congrats. Now what? Another Mystic Snake? Oh, don't mind if I do. I'll go back up to full mana again, and you've wasted all your bloody spells. Lich, dead. Medusa, very, very strong. Huskar, static link up on him. I don't know what Boom can do apart from run and hide, because Miracle is about to dive into your fountain. Shad is an inch away from death stuns, but Guardian Angel at the same time. So the physical damage will be mitigated and stopped for now. They've stunned up Boom. He's going to run back into fountain, but he's going to just get right click to the triple killing monster machine that is Miracle mashing into the Viking heroes. GG is called. Give him a rampage, guys. Come out your fountain and give the Rapier Medusa the rampage that she deserves. No? Okay, just give them the game then.
This has to be one of the weirdest games that I've seen lately. And is Knoxville home?
Yes, he is.
Ask him about the Rapier on Medusa. Like, this has to be one of the fastest ones for sure.
Was it 21 minutes?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I think in the current meta, Battle Fury is generally better, but I think that the way that this game is shaping up in terms of the pace, that having a troll online a little bit earlier is probably for the best. You don't really want to go late against the Arc Warden and the team fight coming out from Team Liquid.
Yeah, you're right. So this early damage will be pretty strong. Still gives you good farming capabilities, right?
Yep.
It's not like it's... And it does go into an attack speed item, which is a bit better later on when you become Mjolnir. You can actually push towers effectively with that.
Yeah, Pierce's evasion too against the bubble of Arc Warden.
That's true. That's a very good point. Oh, there you go. Ice Blast. Oh, this is good initiation. Gonna find the Arc Warden. Silent Stop. Voltage match. Arc Warden's gone. Without him, Roger damages. They just tries to get away, but unfortunately, he's not taking enough. Actually, they can't kill him. They're enough damage for him. And with that Qualifier, for now, they're just gonna get away. Oh, the Slithering Crush stopping both of them in their tracks. They had their eye on the prize, and they finally kill Insania, but at the cost of what? The cost of 2 deaths. Mickey being quite powerful here and going for another sprint. He has in 3 seconds. He wants to get some counter kills. Zuya seems to be the target, but they realize it's a bit dangerous. The Void Spirit's still alive. On his Maelstrom. I think there was a bit of an not an even, no. Singularity, slight win here, but not too much.
Yeah, anytime you kill the Arc Warden when he's the primary core on the other team, it's good. That was a 4v5 in between the tier 1 and tier 2, so a little bit overzealous from Singularity without the troll there to back them up. And Mickey is still extremely farmed, so they have to be careful about diving too deep against the Slardar, who's happy to have people jump into him when he doesn't have Gap Close item yet.
That's true. He went to the Hood of Defiance early to withstand a bit of the damage from really all of Singularity. It's a good idea. We need that Blink Dagger. So he's playing a bit of an off-lane Slardar, it seems. Like, this build is not particularly any different from the carry Slardar build, is he?
Yeah, he's not really going for like the right-click Slardar. It looks like he is going to be playing utility, and that means that they are going to have to heavily rely on Koikba to carry this game. Maybe Boxy on the Mars as well. But, you know, that means that they need to buy some more time and punish Singularity when they try to play aggressively like that.
I don't love this too much. I would like to see a bit more dedicated carry Slardar. I see though, I mean, he's going for Ags. I guess he just transitions naturally into a carry anyway. He just has it a bit sooner than he would usually. Ooh, that's a nice bash. Slithering Crush. His stops him with the Dream Coil. That's a smart play, but unfortunately he cannot evade the Slithering Crush nor the bash afterwards. That was a very, very good play, because Dream Coil has a lower cast point than Slithering Crush, so you stop it immediately with a mini stun. Clever, but then the phase shift unfortunately is what really screwed him over.
Yeah, mistimed it a little bit there, and
Radiant's bottom tower
you know what?
is under attack.
Slardar, he does a lot of damage even without any damage items, thanks to Bash of the Deep.
Yes, indeed. That is a puck though, you know, like I want to see how much damage he deals to, like, say, a troll warlord who's, you know, man fighting. His puck is the easy one in this game, as long as you catch him with a stun. Oh, Noya was his brother. Oh, okay.
Noya, yeah.
Noya was his brother. You were right though, it's 2 sets of brothers, yeah.
Radiant's
Excalibur, there they go. Stunned up, the Ice Blast. Actually not going to help out too much. Excalibur is, much like his name indicates, becomes just a myth, a legend. Not going to be here for 40 seconds. Koiko's still looking for a kill here with the Flux. Going for Zidrex perhaps. Zidrex, there's the stun. Oh, Mickey from behind. Decimate Zuzuya. There's your carry Slardar with Troll Warlord also to pick up, but they don't want to continue this apparently as Singularity is pushing out the Arc Warden. Dream Coil and forcing him back. Okay, Arc Warden in trouble, but with that bubble should help him a bit. Zidrex finally comes in, and that's Quake gone. Boxy also joining him in the graveyard, and Mickey hoping to get a kill here against DNZ. Unfortunately, Yoster stops him. Excalibur can control him just barely enough for Singularity to make it away. Hester doing the same thing. Everyone's kiting around Mickey. They cannot fight him, but they're also not choosing to.
Yeah, Liquid does use, or they lose the Arc Warden, but definitely favoring them. Singularity had to buy back on the Void Spirit even to make that a fight. Also losing the Troll there on the end. So Liquid, they are making things happen now, and I think it's kind of what we saw in the OG game, where Singularity is getting baited by how tanky some of these Liquid heroes are. Like they're going on the Slardar, and he's got almost 2,000 health and a hood.
That's true, and the Hood actually adds a lot of deceptive tankiness to them. So, because they're used to just, you know, mowing them down quickly with your magical damage. Your physical damage is still not there. The Troll even went for a Maelstrom, so that's a lot of magical damage you're mitigating with that Hood.
Excalibur has queued up the Bloodthorn.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the build that Thompson went on this hero. It just seems like it gives you a bit more early aggression than any other build on Void Spirit.
I do like the early Crystallis, and then it can turn into a Bloodthorn easily, no problem, right? Like,
yep.
That option exists for you, like he's doing right now. But the Yule has been really good this game, though, for him, to be honest. He's lacking the damage, but the Yule has been very useful.
Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely not hating on the Yules. And, you know, the Orchid is good. You're able to, like, catch out the Willow, for example. Still, I think that by the time it's online, you're probably going to be dealing with at least 2 BKBs.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. By the time they have BKBs, what's the point of having that Orchid, right? And you're also gonna have to deal with the Slaughter's Aghanims as well, which gives him the stat resistance. Very effective, actually. As long as he's in that puddle, he's pretty much unkillable. If we thought he was tanky before, wait till we get that Ags.
Definitely. Smoke play from Liquid, trying to collapse on the mid tower.
Okay, that's good. There's no way. Whoa, that is a nice slithering crush. Just the tip, you know, just the tip.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Still counts.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, trying to make an innuendo completely, but yeah, all right. Liquid taking the tier 1 tower, or they attempt to. It's gonna be quite just pushing this a bit. Excalibur, bit forced out. The other Yule Center DNZ dies in the bottom lane to Boxy, but I'm looking for this kill in the top lane where Excalibur can be in trouble to simulate. Hughes just in time. They do the sinister gaze. The second root. Oh, the clumsy net. How that helps. Excalibur has to get away. Sinister gaze has already been wasted. They have a Radeon blood, and they're gonna commit everything to get Excalibur's blood out of his body. Taiga, however, dies to Suzuya here in the backlines. They have no way of canceling this TP. Suzuya, like a real baller, just TP's right in their face.
Dire does take the mid tier 1 tower as well during that fight, so Liquid is still exerting pressure on the map, and Singularity playing quite reactively at this point. Zitrax in trouble in the mid lane. He's probably going to go down here, I would imagine. Although...
What are you talking about, Donnie? This is not what's happening on my screen. Zitrax just ate some raw fish for dinner, and it improved his HP. Even at the end of that team fight, he actually healed more than he got damage from.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a troll hater. I think this hero is garbage, but you know, sometimes pressing R and taking your hands off the keyboard is the best way to play Dota.
Yeah, and they won in the team fight here, or skirmish at least. Gonna find Zidrax, there's the Dream Call, catch the Lich. Okay, Zidrax, not in trouble. There's the Ice as well to care for Taiga. DNZ is trying to get away, but unfortunately there's an obstacle in his way. He can't do this. A Mist-Spear of Mark, and Zidrax is not gonna get brought up, down. He can just get away, I think. Magic Wand still with 6 charges. Zidrax running fast enough to outrun that Spark Wraith. That's why these Spark Wraiths just like little slugs. They don't have legs, so they can't really outrun a troll. And we even have a Blink Dagger on Puck, who uses time to farm it. Has the Joy taking advantage of the space. And so is the Void Spirit, who is halfway through to that Orchid.
Pretty costly whiff on that Spear of Mars, I think. Troll definitely dies if he gets speared back.
It's a tough spell to do that right with, though, in Boxy's defense, right? It's you have to go in, the cast point's quite high. He just barely had him. He tried to get just barely. It was a very chaotic team fight.
It was. Liquid. They given a little bit of ground back, but keeping this tier 1 mid alive. 22 minutes in, they're gonna deny it now, but that's been a lot of map control they've been able to hold on to.
I don't know if the denial is that worth it, to be honest. I think that map control is a bit more. The mid tier 1 right now, I think, is such an important objective.
Yeah, it certainly is. With how much access it gives you to this, like the outpost jungle.
Exactly. And the changes to the mid lane make it so that it's, you know, a much more viable lane to just walk through, right? Easily. That tier 1 is essentially the guard that you have against that.
Yep.
It's a good catch for Singularity. I mean, a good deny, I guess, for Liquid. They will have the Ags on Slaughter in just a minute. 300 gold away, so that's going to be a huge change. Do you think they can bring him down with the Ags? Do you think the same thing will happen as with the Troll last time?
Well, he only has 12 armor. I say only 12 armor, but against a hero like Troll, like you get netted once or twice with the max attack speed from Fervor and Battle Trance, and you're just dead. So, you know, I'd like to see Mickey picking up some sort of more tankiness in terms of like physical damage resistance.
Yeah, but that gives you physical damage too.
It does.
It gives you 12 armor. Oh, careful, Starter in trouble. Doesn't matter. He just got the Ags, but unfortunately did not get the puddle out. Zidrax did use his BKB for his Acid Ice Stream Call into 3, but there's not much of a follow-up. And Siding from behind, just hoping to catch out the puck, but Heste came from the left, not from the right. But yeah, I mean, 12 extra armor is nothing to scoff at. I don't know, I think it's quite a lot. As long as you're in the puddle, of course.
As long as you're in the puddle.
Yeah. Mickey,
What if you kicked out, though?
Yeah, that's true. They have ways to do so. The Void Spirit, you know, It's not easy. However, global warming favors the starter for now. Everything's gonna turn to a puddle. Suzuya, look at this. He does try to fight inside of it, but the Arena Blood not too effective. They only kill Suzuya, but the cost of Boxy. Silence up to the starter. He starts to keep himself in the puddle.
Here's the test.
And there's no test. They're like, they're done. We're not even gonna try to contest this. This troll is scary. They give him the fear, and they let him walk away. Taiga, hoping for the kill on DNZ, and he does acquire it as Mickey goes in again, but that's evasive with a phase shift. Now instead, Taiga's gonna die for him, but Mickey chasing after Suzuya, getting a counter kill. Support for support here. That's a dieback on Suzuya, however. So that's no Ice Blast for 70 seconds.
Both teams are just straight up brawling in this mid lane. They're not even fighting for objectives right now. They're just fighting each other. I would expect some focus to be put on Roche here pretty soon. Both teams have good Roche taking lineups with the Troll and the Slardar.
I agree. They're both gonna. I mean, who has the advantage when they fight there? I would say Liquid, no?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Dream Goal in there is quite brutal.
And the Ice Blast. Yeah, both teams have good contest for Roche as well, and that's probably why we haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, that's very true. And Roche is not a puddle, but immediately after, and outside of Roche, everything is water. So you are in dangerous territory. And if you've ever watched Jaws, you know that you don't want to go in the water. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I am glad you're a film fan. Yes, exactly. Mickey is just going to hunt for that at this point. You know, he's actually staying in the river, interestingly enough. So Mickey is actually playing with the territory. He knows the river represents rotations. He wants to control that part of the map. So as long as you're not farming anything, you might as well stay in that area.
And it's pretty cool. Actually, another little thing about the Mars arena, it's like basically exactly the same size as the puddle. So you drop the arena, you hit the puddle, and then you just have like this unstoppable little area that you're taking a fight in.
That's a very good point, actually. And the Slaughter, since it's slightly bigger, the puddle, than the arena, then you have the extra 50 units to kind of use Slithering Crush wherever you feel it's appropriate within the arena. Yeah, it's very good. I agree with you. That's a good point. I also love the puddle when it comes to sieging high ground, which is something that Liquid it doesn't have much of an issue with an Arc Order, but even better, right? It's a great ability to maintain your position, hold your ground.
Definitely. Void Spirit does finish up the Orchid, heading for that Bloodthorn. And yeah, just the order of operations here, if we're gonna use a math term, seems like maybe the Chrysalis is optimal, but at the very least, Orchid is done. Still, it kind of feels like Void Spirit needs this plus a BKB to feel really comfortable in this game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I agree. The BKB is a must in this game. He has been kind of getting away with it for now, but the stuns are getting stronger. They're getting better at putting them down. They have more mobility, so it's not as easy to just kind of trick him with your mobility anymore. And I do agree. I would have liked the Chrysalis early. I would have liked that order of operations. I would have liked Chrysalis to be the parentheses rather than the addition. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, really taking it far here. And it would have been nice.
It is multiplicative after all, right? You know, you're multiplying your damage.
That is exactly it. Yeah, there we go. So it would have been nice because you would have had much more kill potential early, and I don't think you would have found yourself in this position where Slaughter became unkillable for like solid 10 minutes in the game.
Yep. Speaking of Slardar, he has a Mind Breaker, so very nice item if you can get the jump with the Blink Dagger, which he also does have in his inventory. Titan Sliver, one of the greatest carry items in the game, tier 3 at least. Nether Shawl on Earth Spirit is very nice.
So that Titan Sliver is on Troll, okay.
On Troll, yeah.
Yeah. That's very nice actually, because Troll does like going for the resistance build, right? You go for the Satanic later on, and so that combines well with the Titan Sliver. Ooh, Insania was so close to walking to his death. Oh, not quite though. And I like the Mindbreaker as well. Combines nicely if you don't have a bash charged up. And in this case he does. That was not a good crush, but he does have at least a pool of water to go around him. And he does get a stun off onto the Earth Spirit. Mickey, however, realizing there's not a good fight to take, had to just murder his support in front of him. Now the Roshan has just fallen because Singularity was sneakily taking this away from them. And with that play, Singularity can now maybe fight, or perhaps not. It's Liquid's going to fight. They get an Arena plus Terrorite. This is the wombo combo they were looking for. The Ace is taken away. Excalibur is gone. It's only a puck left to try to create some space, but Zidrek versus the world. He activates the BKB, and he has to TP. There's nothing else he can do here. It's not his chance to fight. Hence the Joy, unfortunately, without much mana. Silent Stop. The Slithering Crush won't hit. They don't have a bash either. It's going to be a very difficult kill to get, and they're not going to get it in the end. Hence the Joy at least surviving this engagement.
Yeah, but you can see the strength of the Liquid team fight there. Just the arena and everything that can be dumped into that in terms of just follow-up damage and control.
Radiant's middle tower
Instantly losing Aegis on the Troll and that Liquid is starting to develop.
Exactly. I find that decently.
Yeah, these strength cores, or strength carries rather, have become so popular just because they give you somebody to fight around, right? These strength cores, or strength carries rather, have become so popular just because they give you somebody to fight around, right?
Outpost decade. You're right, exactly, because you can't simply ignore this. He's stunning. Oh god, this Puck. What happened to Puck's HP? Just gone, but the troll eats up Mars and going for Mika next. That's a second dish. They get him with a rolling boulder. Mika gets frozen solid, and that's not going to help him enough. Oh, Mika, apparently, just barely surviving. Thanks to the Glimmer Kid they say, but they do have point for now. However, Mika is not going to have any of this. Kills Hestic, kills DMZ as well, immediately bashing the ground and telling him what's up. As Insomnia also finds an ancient apparition to be dealt with. Liquid, oof, they might have stopped in the beginning because the troll, surprised them, sure. But afterwards, it was just all Liquid from here.
Yep, and finally, Void Spirit queued up the BKB. He was going for the Bloodthorn, then switched to Shiva's Guard, finally decides, alright, BKB is the only way I live. And it's one of those things where it might be a little bit too late, because you need the BKB at the right timing, and Void Spirit has really fallen off in terms of BKB is the only way I live. And it's one of those things where it might be
see with Void Spirit often a lot of pros have criticized as opposed to Snapfire. He can follow up. It's not hard for him, honestly. He's not as strong as some other of the super hard to catch heroes. He doesn't deal that much damage, to be honest.
Yep. For the heroes. That with Liquid, where it's, you've got the Enchanted Quiver on Arc Warden, yes, Mindbreaker, Spider Legs, amazing.
Ever since I saw that game on Liquid versus Na'Vi this major, where it went to its hyper late and the Morphling got an Apex, I assumed that Icefrog just wants his team to win. Because that was terrorize them to Excalibur. Oh, no, he's saving it. He's saving it. Excalibur has the silence though.
He's still
that bait.
Has
he
two
can still
Astral
get
Step.
away with Astral Step. Okay, but the damage from Flux is still good, and the Astral Step is not disjoint.
He has no
Don't
TP,
forget that
actually.
terrorize. Another dissimulate. Saves him. Just barely. Sparkling Vision. Excalibur. He's been trapped, and he's been killed. Well. Talking about... have the full viewing experience. It's very rude of you.
Exactly. It might be strategically correct, but it's just a bad viewer experience. We're not trying to be Overwatch here. We want people to actually know what's going on. There we go, that's finally the funnel put down. Yeah, they're gonna go for the tower. Did they use the repair kit on the full HP tower? Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so.
That's half of your repair kit gone. Mind you, it doesn't really matter because the other half is not gonna last long enough for Liquid to, or for your tower to actually use it. This tower push is so good. Did Slaughter just go in blink like a madman? Slaughter, I don't think you can afford to do this. They can kill him off. They don't have Arena Blood. There we go. Mickey. a bit too hasty with his initiations, and they do punish him for it. That was unnecessary.
Can they get any more? I don't think so. Possibly they'll catch Taiga, but Glimmer Cape should keep him safe. Although they can see Jax running back to the Dark Willow.
Insania. Oh, they do catch him in the center. So at least, okay, it's 2 kills. It's not bad. I don't think it's enough for Singularity to get back into the game, but that was a huge blunder by Liquid. Unnecessary. Completely necessary.
There's still a chance, definitely, and it's kind of, again, very ult-oriented for Liquid. Like if Singularity can time it where there's no Spark Wraith or no Tempest Double, no Mars ult, no Terrorize, they definitely have an opportunity. So they are going to smoke up and look for some backup kills off of these deaths from Team Liquid, but no Roche for quite some time.
Yeah, at least a minute, could be up to 4. And I mean, your team is starting to peak though. The Troll has kind of reached this. Static is really the last item you kind of need. And the Void Spirit falling off here is very huge. Honestly, you don't want to play 4 Protect 1 in this meta. It's just not effective, honestly.
Yeah, I tend to agree. However, the BKB will be a big time for the Void Spirit. He'll stop instantly dying in these team fights, and I really like this gem picked up by Hestejoe because there's, I think, 2 Glimmer Capes on the side of Liquid.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the build in general by Hestejoe. The gem is a good idea, but the early Veil to boost the damage, and then he made it into Blink, into Ags. It's a very cleanly executed build.
I agree.
That Axe pickup is really good. I'm surprised Slaughter has not gone for BKB yet, but now is his next item actually. After the Halberd and the Pipe completed.
Boxy's gonna have an Axe of his own.
Ooh, that Axe reduces the cooldown to what, 1.4 on God's Rebuke.
Yep.
It's not something we see that often this early. Usually it's like a luxury item.
The 40% slow, pretty nice. Also, just the sustain you get from Vlad's. I mean, 25% lifesteal on Vlad's is one of the craziest changes to that item in a long time. It's like a mini satanic for your entire team.
Radiant's top tower.
It is pretty crazy. I agree. It's the six attributes always nice. You can pick it up on almost any hero. It's just kind of crazy. The God's Rebuke though, with the Ags and the potential level 25 talent, you can just burst down some of these heroes. Particularly, I think they're looking for the Puck or the Ancient Apparition. I think it's fascinating. Why is Mickey making a puddle in the puddle?
He's just setting up for the upcoming Roche, which should respawn here in about 16 seconds. You got much less.
Yeah, but you get the buff anyway.
Yeah, well,
you know, like the river gives you the buff anyway.
If you're regenning mana, you might as well use it, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah, you might as well use it. It's kind of to mark your territory, right? Like how some dogs, you know, they just go
pee a little puddle.
Yeah. Oh my God! Did you see that, Roshan? The amount of Spark Wraiths piled on there, it took away half his HP. He went for the Spark Wraith cooldown. I was gonna say, oh, half HP instantly. This Arc Warden. I mean, I know you could do that, but I've never seen that actually done. Roshan's gonna fall here. There's the puddle you're looking for. Peeing your territory in the Roshan pit. It's mine now. Aegis and cheese for them. To give the Aegis to the Arc Warden. Yeah, that makes sense.
Singularity is trying to get anything done. They will put a pretty large wave into Liquid's base in the bottom lane, but there is an Arc Warden to deal with that with Tempest Double. Do they want to fight here? I don't know. Probably not.
I don't think Singularity wants to fight at all. I think it's the waiting game at this point. I mean, can you afford to do that?
If you can find a good initiation on maybe the Arc Warden or the Mars and kill them before they can really start pumping out any damage or control, I guess. Maybe even finding Taiga. He seems to be a pretty important hero. He's actually queued up a BKB knowing that they will be targeting him.
Oh, Heste. He's brought down. Here comes Mickey. Nice. At least they're... And without Heste, that's your main initiation gone. Suzuya, you need to get back to your base.
You know, once again, I'm seeing no Force Staves on the side of Singularity at 40 minutes. And that is a big issue.
It's true. Taunted up. They find him. Sans. What do you want to do against this Slaughter? He has 3k HP. And now Puddle. It's impossible. Drax. And there's the amplified damage on him, so he has a bit of trouble going in. Okay, Earth Spirit trying out with the Rolling Thunder. Mickey.
Radiant's bottom barrel.
They used that repair kit at the same time as the Glyph. Again, not ideal, but I guess you're gonna lose it otherwise.
Look at these spark rays.
So many spark rays. That's the 2-second cooldown ability. They almost kill a troll by accident. That's just the clone dying. And it actually expires quite fast. The second clone in 12 seconds. No big deal.
Excalibur just goes down kind of at random.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
And they take the Ranger Axe as well. Liquid, you're only missing one last set. So tier 2 is up top. And nothing else you have to do. 20k lead. I mean, I don't think Singularity. It seems like they're just losing this game slowly at this point.
Yeah, they probably need to smoke out and take a play, because you can't just let the Arc Warden siege from low ground. You need to find some angle of attack where you can get to the back line and start off a fight with a pickoff.
They have to do some sort of really sneaky technique, kind of a risky play at this point to really get back into the game. I agree with you. And perhaps catching them from behind. The issue is you don't have such a great initiation that you would say that surprise factor is a big deal here. Like they just counter you by just existing, really. They're too tanky for you.
Yeah, you need to find the perfect coil into maybe like a kick out with DNZ.
Yeah.
But even that, I don't know if that's enough damage.
And well, that has to be on the Arc Warden as well, right? You have to kind of ignore the slaughter and hope he doesn't murder your Ancient Apparition in the meantime.
Yeah, definitely. And then there's always the counter initiation of the Terrorize and the Arena of Blood. This Liquid lineup is looking like it is probably just about to close this game out. I don't really know how Singularity can take a fight, and they're just sitting in their base waiting for this to happen, so they're not even going to try and make an aggressive play.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, but this is just losing the game. They're just kind of accepting it, right? You can't really afford. Okay, well, they're going to try it. DNZ, there's the kick out you're talking about, but they stop him. They save the slaughter for now. He's lasting his tail of the cheese. Mickey. The Ice Blast is still on him, so he can't eat it right now, but the apples will go back in a second. There we go. Cheese is ready. Eats it immediately. Excalibur the target and immediately destroyed as the Fear stomps DNZ from rolling away. That's a dive for DNZ. And a Void Spirit gone as well. Zidrak just walks in and says, well, at least I'm going to fight you to the death. And the Battle Trance immediately kills Qualifier. That is an Aegis, however. Zidrak's now left alone against 3. How are you going to deal with this? Mickey still wants to get this kill. They spear him to his Rex and bring him down. 2 minutes without him is enough to prompt to the GG from Singularity.
Good. I'm glad Troll lost.
That's your analysis of the match. Wow. Great ending statement in Television. Really, really setting the bar high here. Liquid take the win against Singularity. 1-1 is the score. I think we saw a pretty good Singularity overall. No?
Yeah, very, very hard. Young G is such a threat, though.
Oh yeah, he is. Like, if he gets to wait, he can, for example, blow up this iron tubes. There isn't a Hessen bring on it. That is ideally what you want if you're on Modus Unity right now. Vega on your Baron, so many heroes.
Everyone's tipping Madara. Oh, I can't cast this tip, man. So sad.
Waste of tips. Man, I miss old chat.
Yeah, it's real good. It's real good.
Everyone is so PC these days, you know?
Bow to your lord. Such simple minds.
And the Battle of the Greeks.
The dead.
30
Like, honestly, if I was Spartan, I would go an aggressive tri lane into Madara. I would be like,
Just
right.
for the lols.
Yeah, just go ruin his life completely. I'm gonna stick down bottom though. Well, actually, it looks like Madara Pexu are coming down bottom. Skylark is up top, has the Earthshaker of Lil. Baranya Kunkka mid. Seafreak Tiny already lurking deep. Radiant Observer Ward spots him though,
The battle
as the Dara Ward was placed by the Puck earlier on. And it should be, yeah, 2 for 2. Everyone very safe and sound in their choices. Defensive bounty rune grabs. Does Little Fisher block? He sure does.
All eyes on Lil.
Wait, the range creep. Wait, did he mean to do that? How did the... What? Cool.
Maybe the range creep is skinny, so he can pass. I mean, this way range
Just
creep
straight on
dies
through.
instantly, and the lane is gonna push onto Radiant's.
Frost Blast level 1 from Spartan, so there will be no Frost Shield for Skitter down in this bottom lane. And already denies coming out from Pexu, harassing into the Morphling. A very early stage. Oh, careful with that courier. Yeah, Skylark's fine. So 1v1 top, Centaur against Abaddon. I feel like that's Abaddon favored, but if you hit the Centaur, he gets so much damage, it kind of swings back the other way as well, right?
True. And I love what Jibe is doing. Already queued up Orb of Venom. You have enough gold, buy it instantly. But you have a good point. Skylark will be using that shield plus curse to keep harassing him every single time he gets close. Depends when Centaur decides to use the retaliate. Once the retaliate is up, Abaddon can trade hits.
Oh, the toss back bottom though. Spartan saved potentially by the Fisher of Lil, and Z-Freak is now the one too deep behind enemy lines. He's been pinged out. Will they find him? Z-Freak's gone. First blood drawn by the Morphling. And the wave is pretty pushed up here. Madara should be able to get a decent amount of CS, but it allows the Lich to drag back this large camp. Tango the tree. Pull across. Are they not? Yeah, come on. They got it. Oh, Spartan.
On top.
Wait, I can't tell if Spartan did that on purpose or not, because like the wave is still going to be decent for them. A little bit funny. Z-Freak puts a sentry down, but doesn't get the observer ward. Still up on that high ground. Lil will go for the small pull. Maybe they can pull across into that large camp. But it is tri-lane on tri-lane. It's 1v1 top, 1v1 mid. Kunkka coming out on top by an extra wave or so ahead of the puck. Top lane, CS looking pretty even. So it really comes down to the battle between the PL and the Morphling, and would you believe it, Madara is absolutely hammering Skitter in the CS charts.
Yeah, mid lane also not doing so well. 17-2 against 12-2. Also top lane is the battle of the region. Like, who's gonna bring more region to this lane? Skylark already used the courier, brought the south plus Orb of Venom. He wants to have that extra slow, but Jiv is playing this well. I think he's bringing the
nice
chainmail.
Frost Blast finishes him off. I wasn't sure if they could actually take him down. Madara getting tipped and forced into a very uncomfortable position. Good little maneuver there from the Radeon team to bring him down 2-0. So far, starting things off. Is that top lane? Still 13 retaliate stacks up on this centaur.
Straight to the bottom with you.
Did they both get ooh? No. Centaur didn't. Yeah, dude, it's ooh.
For those who don't know, Garrett means Orb of Venom.
It's very important.
Now it's a different thing. Once the retaliate charges are there, Abaddon can't get close.
Yeah, it's real scary for Skylark. He's got a mango and some tangos to work with.
Dire's middle tower is under
Shibe's gonna get the punches now. Down bottom, a great Fisher again from Lil. Toss back, though, will delay the advance, and a great Nightmare stops the Frost Shield from slowing down the time. Gets off his salve, walks up the ramp, and he's perfectly fine. We also saw Chessie very nearly die in that mid lane against Baranya. Double bracer with an Arcane Rune. Level 5. Creeps chasing you, range A 1-for-1 trade is Lich. Gets found out by Pexo and Madara. Baranya went for the boat play in the middle lane. Torrent, X-Mark, not all fully connecting. But Chessie is most certainly starting to feel the pressure.
Yeah, he has doubled the CS.
Backwash.
OG's turn to ban.
Games are starting, Richie. You gotta stop talking.
10 seconds remaining. NIP's turn to battle.
Don't stop talking to me. Hello guys and welcome to the European qualifiers for the ESL LA Major. We're here in the NIP versus OG matchup. It's a best of 2. The second match of OG for the day and the first match for NIP here for the Group B. Let's see how these teams fare against each other. For your casters today, my name is D Swordfish. I'll be your caster, and I am trying to put as many loud changes as possible in the production. So you're welcome. I hope your ears get adjusted to that. And joining me today is the one, the only, the American Alchemy Elevated. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm excited because we have 2 Americans in this matchup. 3 Americans, actually. We've got PPD, we've got Universe, and we've got Sumail, of course. So, you know, the more
Typical
Americans
counting
in data,
Americans,
the better. And that way I can't lose. Either America wins or America wins. So
that's a very good point. Yeah, that's true. That's the technique I use as well when I check out how many Spaniard players. There's 0 on one team, 0 on the other. Therefore, Spain never loses.
Hey man, it's the little things that really matter.
Really is, yeah. I'm excited to watch this new NIP. We're actually talking about this in the downtime. I am very excited to watch Lelis. I thought his performance in the major was fantastic. I was not a believer of Lelis, I will say. I was not a believer at all. I thought Beast Coast would crash and burn without him, and it would have with him, and it crashed and burned without him essentially because Lelis really carried them in the major in a lot of matches. He showed a great performance. And
yeah, his story is kind of interesting actually, because he was an offlaner for a long time, one of the best offlaners actually in Brazil.
He was, yeah.
And then over the last
named Liposa.
Yeah, Liposa. And over the last year or so has transitioned to be more like a 5 and a captain in that region. So it's nice to see him back on the offlane role where I feel like he is a very, very good playmaker, somebody that can kind of take over games. And now he's playing under one of the best captains in Dota. Kind of interesting that he's actually displacing Universe, who obviously is famous for being an offlaner. So it'll be really intriguing to see how this team comes together, right? They've got Universe moving to 4. They're bringing in Dahak, who's a Russian player playing under PPD, but Dahak does offer a fairly interesting hero pool, and PPD is always somebody that likes to take advantage of sort of, you know, these cheesy strategies, you know, the drow lineups, these timing based strategies, and so it'll be interesting to see how he uses Dahak as well as these new tools in Lelis, and even Tanner, an unknown UK mid laner.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch these guys and how this new team gels. A completely different team than the original NIP, really, both in styles, and I mean, obviously the players are different, but the style of play of these players is very different than we used to have. I am particularly very happy of seeing Universe move to 4. I thought his performance in 3 was not ideal, and I thought, especially lately, it just seemed like it wasn't his position anymore, just by the way he played. And I think 4 suits his playstyle a bit better, where you can sometimes be greedy, sometimes be really sacrificial, but it depends on the game, and where you really come online like kind of halfway through, rather than the early, which is where offlaners kind of tend to shine. So, I'm happy to see Universe in this new role. Unless he plays Io. That's not really exciting. I'm not really excited to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting because I don't know if I've ever seen him play Io. I would assume it's probably going to be PPD on the hero in this game.
Me too.
And at the same time, they do get Io, who's obviously very powerful, but they give up both Snapfire and Void Spirit.
Yeah, I don't know about that. What do you... We were talking about how one hero is already OP, then you got both.
Yeah, the instant pick of the Void Spirit with Io. Thompson was just sniping Handskin in that first series that we watched. It was just like, all right, where's the Io? Boom, dead instantly. And OG, they're back in comfort, man. They're running the Void Spirit to counter the Io. They have the Snapfire, which is obviously extremely powerful, and then they get the Troll and Oracle. You know, I think that we can probably just go ahead and call this game and move on to the next one. No, I'm just kidding.
This is done. Well, I mean,
10
no matter what
seconds
happens now, you
remaining.
will. There is a chance that you lose because Troll can win, so it's changed. The odds, the
5
stakes are higher for you now, Alchemy.
No, disgusting.
I don't know. I am a big believer in the PPD drafts, but I do find this draft was not the ideal. I like the Darkseer ban, but early on, banning the Morphling over, say, a Void Spirit and a Snapfire seems a bit questionable to me. Now, Lifestealer Magnus is a really good combination, a classic, really. And it does work well. Probably Magnus made Lifestealer carry, I want to say.
Most likely, that is both, you know, major cores being picked super early on in the draft, I feel like, but then again, you know, there's always the chance, I feel like this would be way too slow, but there is always the chance that you could run Universe on the Magnus because he is an offlane player. Then again, you know, Magnus is not really the Empower bot that we used to see, so if that is what they are running, I'm not a huge fan of it.
if you put him as 4, I will be very sad. I'm glad they're running 3 Mars though. So about the 3 Mars, the first guys to actually believe in 3 Mars was the Brazilians. King RD thought this hero was the
5 seconds remaining.
best thing to happen since sliced bread. Literally, not back in the day when he was released, but literally when nobody had played at all. And then King RD just woke up one day and was like, you know what? I feel like a Roman god, and he played this hero incredibly well, but also ridiculously too much. You know, it was absurd. They picked it every single game, regardless if it was a good game or not. And it started to catch on because a bunch of other Brazilian offlaners were like, oh, maybe Mars is really good because King RD keeps winning with him. And then I started practicing, and Mars is the Brazilian pick right now. So I'm not surprised they pick it for Lilith, even if there's not much combination here. I am excited to watch Brazilian Mars. Always the best kind of Mars.
That's awfully biased of you, but you know what? I'll give it to you at this
100%.
point.
But I'm Hispanic, so they're like my rivals, right? So it's good bias. It's positive bias. It's nice. Yeah, there we go.
But you are right. Where's the combo with it, right? You have the Arena of Blood as either a setup or counter initiation, and then an RP. It doesn't really work that well. I guess you can group people up enough to where RP maybe hits more people, but at the same time, you're pulling them away from the walls and stunning them so they're not being pushed into it.
Exactly. Yep. I agree. I mean, you can skewer them into the walls, I suppose, if you can just barely get it, because skewer pushes them right through, right?
I'm actually not sure how that interaction works. I would imagine that they bounce off of your horn once they hit the Arena of Blood wall.
Oh, so you go right past it, like you're like a train.
You probably go through and then they bounce off, but I'm not 100%.
I am fast, because you could play like an interesting Ags Magnus game then. Taking advantage of the Mars, I guess that's the combo. Yeah. That's
10 seconds remaining.
I'm grasping at straws here.
Sounds mediocre, if I'm being perfectly honest.
5 seconds remaining.
It does sound a bit mediocre. I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, you do need another support now, so the Dark Will is available. Oh no. Elevate Alchemy, I think this might actually be a -4.
No, it's definitely Puck 4.
You think?
Yeah.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely a Universe hero, Puck 4.
It is a Universe hero, yes.
But
I think Puck 4 is kind of bad right now, though.
where, like, this is another one of those games where it's like, okay,
10
you have
seconds
all this
remaining.
team fight, but where is your starter? I guess you have to rely on
5
an eventual
seconds
Blink
remaining.
Dagger on Puck or Mars or Magnus to get things going. This seems awfully slow against a team like OG, who's like ready to go from minute 1 to run at you, even with no matter what heroes they're playing.
Yep. They have very strong heroes, easy to play as well, easy to execute.
Hero.
Ooh, the Bounty as their last pick.
Love it.
I do like this hero a lot, actually.
Love it.
Yeah. That you really don't beat Leicester in lane, but Bounty does. Not so much because he kicks you out, just because he steals your gold. You know, you stay, but he's gonna constantly use the Janata on you. Oh, it's a great draft by OG, man.
Yeah,
It's a very good draft.
I mean, you're gonna have endless setup for these early kills. Mid one should be able to just rack up track kills, and I feel like the pace that OG is gonna set here is just gonna run over NIP. But I'm willing to be surprised. They have lots of counter initiation. We saw it in the last series with Liquid running the Mars. He's very good at, you know, being dove and then turning things around. And they have
There we go. Wasn't that amazing? We could still hear the monkey noises that they put from behind. So I am sorry about that. Never think of you. I always forget about muting the stream when OG comes away. All right. I am a believer. I am a believer in PPD drafts. I think this guy knows something that I don't all the time, like perpetually in life. And I find that this draft, there must be some hidden secret with him. He's he used to be at least a very consistent drafter. I don't think that even when NIP was losing, the drafts were the problem, if I'm honest with you.
Well, he's had maybe a slight downgrade in players to work with of late.
Yes, that's true.
But excited to see what this lineup can bring to the table. However, it sounds like you're trusting him to be your Oracle when the Oracle is on the other team, and not so sure that's what you should be doing.
I'm excited to watch this offlane. This is the most exciting. I love Bounty Hunter offlane. I think it's fantastic. His armor makes it so Lifestealer can barely deal damage to him until you get Javelin. So it's and Io's a bad laner, so Bounty should be able to beat him.
Yeah, it was buffed a bit. Another armor given to Bounty Hunter. One of the highest armor heroes in the entire game at this point.
Yep, up there with Terrorblade and Nagasar. He's in that club. And soon to be Brewmaster. Okay? Mark my words. One armor a couple patches ago, one armor now. He's getting there.
One of these days
As you
he'll
can
be viable again.
He can, I hope so. He can, he barely takes any damage from these guys, and the issue with Io is that, the current build for Io is that you really don't have any magical damage, you're just a physical damage support, so Bounty does not care with his armor. Also early phase, adds more armor to you, it's just a really easy lane for them. I can't imagine there'll be any kills though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a relatively static laning phase for all lanes. Maybe top lane is the highest kill potential with like Spirit Mars.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, the Mars plus Puck combo unfortunately has one kind of stun and a lot of damage, but they really do like the setup for that Spirit of Mars to be effective. If Samael misplays, perhaps though they could. I'm also not the biggest fan of Puck 4.
More so just the trading, I feel like, is favoring NIP here. I also do really like the Magnus mid, just because we saw Thompson abuse the kind of squishier Puck with the remnants, but Magnus is a big beefy boy, and he's just going to push the lane out and just kind of cleave Thompson constantly in this creep wave.
Yeah. An issue as well with the Void Spirit is that you usually can't kill him because the Resonant Pulse is a bit too strong in ability. It stops your last bits of damage every time. It's very annoying. But Magnus doesn't need to kill you. He just outlasts you. That's his whole purpose. Yep. So you do have that little advantage. He should win the Blasted War against Thompson.
No, 100%.
We got a quick kill against PPD. He messed up there and they would punished him with a Shuriken early on. Not the best positioning here.
Yeah, gets that early so you can cancel the tether. They also have 2 stuns with the cookie on top of that. And the mini stun from Shuriken.
Yep, so that's a lot of ways. I mean, the cookie's a bit difficult to cancel tether with, but the other one is easy, as you mentioned. Quite a fast stun. You're not using Janata? There we go. There's a Janata in the hut. I love that effect, by the way. That's a beautiful Immortal on the Bounty Hunter. And actually, we're checking the net worth. Sometimes I don't usually do this early, but we can see that the net worth, even though the Hawk has more last hits, considerably more, it's the steal from Janata that really guarantees the last hits here. And the Hawk has a lot of trouble because of that. One bothered here, not quite gonna get killed. They don't have any kill potential. Maybe one can play to his heart's content. It's very much like playing mid lane when you know that they have no kill potential besides the one that the enemy hero had, the very immediate one. So you can actually play to really low HP because they can't really chase after you.
Yep, and Headdress on Soxa will allow mid one to stay relatively healthy. He does have some more regen being ferried out to him right now, Salve, plus that Blades of Attack. I like this build up
a lot of this Headdress. as a 4? Like they just immediately build headdress? Is this like the newer trend? Because the region?
Yeah, if you're in one of these lanes where you're kind of just trading constantly like this, having a headdress is really nice just because the extra 2 regen constantly. You know, if you're against a more burst heavy lane like the Mars puck lane, then you probably want more just flat regen like a Salve or a Tango's.
Right. But for trading regen of the headdress is really useful. Armor used to be like a thing you used to build against things like Necrophos, right? Because there's just constant harassment. You're like, well, I guess I counter it with regen.
Yep.
You're seeing the game is kind of slow for now. There's not much kill potential in any lane. Thompson's getting some really good Aether remnants though.
He's going for 3 points in the remnant yet again. Really opting for the kill potential that comes out from having this longer stun than worrying about extra gold.
Oh,
extra damage.
What a play, Tanner! That was a fantastic skewer. He doesn't have the astral step yet, but it's not enough to kill him.
Tower is under attack.
Still though, you just tanked a lot of damage as Thompson just because of a little misstep there. The Tanner punished you properly, and now that power hurts. Has 1 point in shockwave, just enough to snipe him if he uses the shield. Yeah, cheeky shield. Helping him out. Enough to save him from Tanner's damage because he would have died there. Tanner's considering this. Thompson doesn't have to step yet.
Universe.
And we just see him going for the rune. Oh, he gets sniped by Universe as a illusory orb. That deserves a tip.
A really nice rotation from Universe there. Thompson. He tried to juke it, saw it at the very last second, but the AoE on that is much bigger than you think.
That play by Tanner was really good as well, honestly. I was very surprised by that. In the bottom lane, mid one. Okay, he has, unfortunately they see him, but he doesn't have Shadow Walk. Best counter to dust in the game. They're not aware. Yeah, exactly. They're not aware that he has 2 points in Shuriken Toss, which is going to surprise them because the puck, the IO is not playing with too much HP here. And mid one, just heal back up with a salve. Goes back to Hawk. Launching on level 3. Doesn't have it. Ah, that cookie. If that stun, that would have been a dead lifestealer.
Yep. A little bit off in timing there, but now we're starting to heat things up in all the lanes, actually. Top lane trading quite a bit with Universe as well. Everybody's getting kind of low. Where's the kill going to happen? Keep that camera movement on point.
Yeah. Are you telling me that an order?
Yeah.
Okay.
No T-Tours in chat.
There's gonna be some. It's just delayed, but there's gonna be some. I can see it. I apologize in advance. Treads on Thompson. Tanner also should finish his. I don't know if he built his treads. Look at Tanner. He built his treads first for the stats and the gloves of haste, and finally the boots. Movement speed is the least relevant thing here in this line.
Yeah, I agree.
And now he's taunting. I am becoming a fan of Tanner just by watching this mid. The taunts just is the cherry on top. Really makes me like this guy even further.
Yeah, I watched quite a few of his replays when he got picked up by NIP because I was curious who this guy was, and he actually like carried Viking GG over Enigma.
He did
back in the minor qualifiers of the last DPC cycle. The dude's stylish. He's a very good player.
Over, Enigma, they were liquid back then. Yeah, okay. I was confused, yeah, okay. I agree, yeah, no, I've seen this guy before in Viking GG. I was like, okay, this is it's a pretty legit guy. Now, I think in NIP though, he's playing even better. He's coming into his own. They really let him use his, I think he's like, incredibly mechanically skilled. Like, this guy knows the timings to a T. He's young, that's his thing. So, NIP really lets him shine as... That was a lifesteal by Thompson. SGPD can become the brain of the operation. Mid one. Chase, but look at that armor. No, it's the armor. It's just 13 armor. How do you beat that as a lifestealer? You have the javelin, so just rely on lucky javelin procs.
Roll the dice.
Yeah, it really is. The lifestealer, you know, before you could go for the face boots and maybe early, and that you still had a fair amount of damage. But since the nerfs to the face boots damage and in general the lifestealer's damage, it's just you don't deal anything. Look, javelin procs hurts and everything else does not. They're going for the IO and they can kill him. Damaging out already. They use all the damage. That was a really nice infestal to get him a bit of extra time. RPD will go down regardless. So the trap kill nonetheless, and the Hawk realizing this is a dangerous play. No, Tanner coming in, cleaning up house with a nice RP, ensuring they both go down. Thompson's a haster, so he's unreachable. That's still a really good turnaround by Tanner.
Yeah, I really like that rotation. Uses the RP right away. Double kill, stops the dive. Thompson comes down, doesn't get anything done.
That was good. It was a very good rotation by Tanner. And he continues to dominate. He's done really well against Thompson, which is something, you know, we haven't seen when he was playing Void Spirit, at least the last matches. And he has Echo Saber almost completed with early treads and double bracer.
But man, look at this. The outpost. 2 TPs down here. They're just gonna immediately start diving again, looking for these track kills on the IO. And without any RP to counterplay, they're gonna need rotations from maybe the Mars or the Puck to stop this.
Puck is too busy taking the outpost. He's not going to participate. He knows it's almost 10 minutes. He needs that outpost, that extra experience. Super valuable, especially at Puck 4. The Hawk is just being chased out by mid one. Ooh, that damage is ridiculous.
PPD is.
And it's now PPD on one. Yep. Well, at least it mates the Aether Remnant. Styling to his death. Appreciate that.
Our paths are linked.
I mean, yeah, I don't think PPD down there is that big a deal, honestly. You kind of give a kill to the rotation, so it made him
It is
more
a track kill,
worthwhile.
though.
Radiant's
Oh,
bottom
that's
tower
true.
is under
Never mind,
attack.
yep. I can no longer make the point that supports are useless, yeah.
Yeah, mid one he's gonna become very, very scary for both the Puck and the IO to deal with. Gonna be quite squishy heroes, and look at mid one. He has no points in invis, but he's literally just running in full vision into the enemy jungle.
It's a garbage skill anyway. You can counter with a 90 gold item. It's not worth it. So it's just don't skill it. The best way. It's like playing Shaker against Morphling. This is the bounty hunter just walking around, tracking people. He does have much more gold than the, well, a fair amount more gold than that lifestealer considering the lane. And the Hawk is now gonna have to be forced into recovery. Unfortunately, his timing for lifestealer to be really late. In the mid lane, they go for Tanner. No, they go for the IO. Much easier kill. Now Mortimer's Kiss is annoying Tanner, but not enough to kill him. Universe have made some of the damage. But it's tough, Universe, it's tough.
Was that another track kill on the IO?
That was indeed a track. Well, actually, I'm not sure. Let me check. No, it was not track use, so I must have not.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
So at
structure.
least it's just an IO kill. That's better, right? I guess. You still lost your IO.
Yeah, and potentially mid tower. I mean, what does NIP do to fight against this? They're gonna have to bring Mars in to try and stop the push. And that will be enough for now. But OG, like, this is sort of my fear from the NIP draft, is that what do they do to stop this pressure? OG is just playing on their side of the map with impunity.
Yeah, NIP has to create some kills. They need space for the lifestealer to recover is the problem, and the Empower helps a lot, which means that Maelstrom is not such a necessity, but it does put him...
Here's a nice rotation,
this
top lane.
is very good, actually. They're gonna go for the Troll Warlord, and it's an easy kill. Lelis immediately with that Arena Blood. It's not that a second. Arena Blood, Spear, and even take an outpost in the process. They did take the outpost earlier, right? When the experience came by, no?
I think it was
Both had an
2-0.
outpost.
I think it was 2-0.
Oh, was it 2-0? Okay, so Puck didn't take it in the end. But that was a really good play by NIP. That's exactly what you were saying they needed, right? Just get these kind of kills.
Yep, slow Sumail down. He's going for the Yasha into Battle Fury build again that we saw in the previous series. A little bit slower this time to get that Yasha done.
I like the... Oh, PPD. No, that was not a TP. They have a tether. No. I don't know if we can get out here, though. The Bounty Hunter is just thirsting for blood. They use Rage to get PPD some extra movement speed, but there you go. Movement speed's gone. Mid one is forced, actually. Lelis in the middle lane got killed out by Thompson. So, unfortunately, that play was supposed to create space, but instead it didn't really do that, clearly.
Relo is up, and they have RP, so I think NIP are probably going to look for something if OG does try to pressure this tower.
Let's see. I mean, Tanner is just threatening, and that's a really good... I mean, he's practiced this. These placements for the Aether Remnants are perfect, honestly. They're always on choke points. They're always just kind of preventing enemy movement. He's throwing a really good zone out here on Void Spirit. Tanner fighting against 3. There's the RP. Only for mid 1, though.
Here's the reload.
Skewer pushes him forward. There's the reload we're talking about. Mid 1 now slowed down. He doesn't have invis, so we need to dust him. Easy for them. Mid 1 gets brought down. At least it's a kill on, even though it's just an offlaner. And used an RP for that. And now Lelis might actually turn this into a 1-for-1. Mortimer's Kiss will make this impossible for Lelis to get out of. Goodbye, Lelis. I don't think that was the play, Lelis. Unless you can get Thompson here. He's been stunned, he's been leashed, and he's been killed. Tanner just does it. The Hawk joins in again. No till the target and no till. They don't want him to use the alive, so they skewer him. That's a well played PPT. Does not get brought down. Universe as well. They're playing with slivers of HP, but it's enough. The Hawk though knows the battle turn is about to come out. He infests Tanner. Immediately gets away. Samael still healing back up. In comes Big One. Tanner a bit too confident, but they can kill Samael. No problem. With the help of Universe yet again, playing with fire, ends up getting burned. But in exchange, he'll get mid one. Finally has Invis, but they have dust on him. They just choose not to go for him anymore. Why? That dust came a bit late, apparently. That was an odd going for Sux as opposed to going for mid one. Okay, I guess.
They're just brawling it up at this point. Just constant fighting. It does favor the side of the bounty hunter usually, but I think NIP holding their own, at least for now. The Hawk still below the troll in terms of net worth, but does have that Maelstrom finish, so he should start to accelerate a little bit. Sumail's farming item a little bit slower paced, and so I think that this is kind of the time where NIP really needs to start playing aggressively. They have the Blink Dagger queued up on this Mars, and they need to start pressuring, taking out this mid tower. We've seen it time and time again. The longer this mid tower stays up, the harder any team has winning the game.
That's true. The tier ones are super important right now, and they're both staying up right now. So who has the advantage here? Who wants to play this early game further? Who wants to get those kills? Is it OG because of their?
Oh, sorry. Was that actually a question?
That was the question. Yeah. I'm asking. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, it's OG's playstyle to just run at you. So.
No, but I mean in drafts, just if you're looking just at the drafts, like who would you say? All right, I need. Wait, sorry, Lilith is about to get killed. Yeah. Let's do a quick. Lilith is not doing too well this game, unfortunately. Arena blood there just to kind of annoy them further. There's no way he's getting out though. Good attempt. He is pushing him out a fair amount, but he's gonna go down. Middle lane though, they try to get a counter kill to No-Till, and No-Till is forced to use that ultimate. With OG rotating just Saksa. Without mana, I don't know what you can do, Saksa. Scattered on blast. Yeah, with a stick. Well, the RP though, on the 2. Anything else to stop this Void Spirit? The damage is just not sufficient, and Fate Seek stops Magnus. There's a relocate, but a bit late. They go from mid 1. Thompson decided to go for the puck instead, and the puck is going to be brought down. Universe, goodbye. Universe Kiss is now turning this battlefield into hell. Impossible for NIP to do anything. They lose both their supports, and they might lose their mid laner in the process as well. Magnus can get brought down with a Kingdom X surprise inside. The Hawk will be the last victim of this engagement, turn this into a 2-part team wipe, much like the Hobbit, but better.
That's the thing about playing as OG is they are going to bring more heroes to every fight than you. So you either need to match them or you need to be extremely clean in getting a pick off and getting out, because there are going to be heroes rotating in, collapsing on you from every single angle as soon as a fight breaks out. And we saw that right there. 5 heroes showing up in the mid lane, not getting any kills off the back of that RP, and that is just not acceptable against OG.
No, exactly. I mean, that RP was a bit hopeful though, right? You had the relocate, it wasn't even going. It hadn't even started it as the RP was used. So it was clear a lack of confidence in Tanner or a miscommunication, because usually when teams are going to use the RP, they know it. Like, I'm looking for an RP, right? Okay, relocate, I'm looking for a relocate. It was too late by relocate.
Yep. Yeah, Universe didn't have coil either. It was still on cooldown for like 50 seconds when the RP was used, so
another issue. And you had no Mars.
Yeah, I think that Lelis needs to start kind of being with the team more. He's been split pushing a lot. I think maybe you start to have Universe maybe get a little bit more farm, do the split pushing since he's a little bit harder to kill than the Mars, and then you have the Arena of Blood every single time that one of these fights starts to break out.
That's the one thing when I was watching Lelis, you know, big fan, right? I've already spoken really well about him, so now I have to speak him down. The one issue I think he has with his playstyle is the kind of almost greediness you have with this guy. He's always pushing, he's always doing those things. Yeah, he doesn't have the versatility to play different styles sometimes though, which is the problem. Like, you can be a farming or offlaner, like a greedy or offlaner, much like Yapsor is a greedy 4, but if your team doesn't want to play around that, you have to be able to adapt to a different playstyle as well.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a draft issue too, I think, with NIP, just because they don't really have like this centerpiece, right? They have all these relocates and
attempt with a reload kit. Yes, they might be able to find points for it. There's the RP, but saved by a false promise. They gotta kill Thompson somehow, instead selling for mid 1. They have a dust burn, but it's just gonna be a mid 1 kill. Thompson is gonna be able to make out of this with full HP, unscathed. They have to deal with Samael instead, but Samael has his ultimate anyway. And look at that ultimate. It destroys the Hawk, tears right through him, and heals Samael back to full. Oh, wow. How does it feel to have no impact in this world? NIP.
It looked good at the beginning, but it's such a heavy commitment. That's the point I was trying to make before that fight broke off, which is like, they don't really have anyone to just start fights unless it's using an ultimate. And if you're going to use an ultimate, it kind of needs to be like a full-on team fight. So you don't really have the opportunity to just get pickoffs to, you know, soft commit. It's always just full on, we're going on, we're taking this fight, and it needs to go well.
Yeah, I agree. This is okay against Sucks, I suppose. As a little initiation. You don't have an RP though if you want to continue flying this. Neither do you have the Arena of Blood. And OG has vision around this area. And as we know from OG, they like fighting. They like these kind of street fights that the enemy team seems to be going for. That spirit's an interesting spirit, but they're not going to be able to stop this outpost from being taken. And without the outpost, they just let it go.
Or do they? Because I'm pretty sure they're happy to take a fight here.
NIP definitely wants to take a fight here. I think OG, sorry, I meant with OG, they want to let it go there. Mid one is kind of, he discovered that Shadow Walk exists and he's very happy. He's like, wow, they don't see me. This is amazing.
Invisibility is invincibility in this case.
Yeah, that's why all my pups tell me. Universe. There's a track. Ah, there we go. Look at your invincibility go. Immediately dusted, by the way. That was not a great steal.
He's so fast, though.
No way he's getting away. There we go. Open wounds, mid one. Look at that armor go, though. PPD is blocking the Huck. And the phase boots were not active. Mid one's actually going to get away. And instead in the mid lane, now they're fighting. PPD has been immediately killed off. With Thompson looking for the hill and the Hawk. No more astral step, though. That purifying flames came very close, though.
NIP definitely on the back foot, scrambling at this point to try and find any kills. We've seen it before, going on mid one never really seems to turn out very well for OG's opponents.
So what do you do with your NIP now? What are you looking for? Because these pickups have not been working out for you. Do you have to just double back them and try to get the Oracle first?
Under attack.
It's one of those situations where you either had to, you know, choose to fight.
Well, like here, for example, RP. Oh, they're going for the Oracle. They just want the Oracle. RP wasn't worth it. So they stopped that, but they needed that kill. They needed that kill.
Again, a fairly heavy commitment, though, because they do end up using the Arena of Blood. Sure, it's only 60-second cooldown, but... or 60 seconds at this point.
No, it's 75 at this point, but, you know, keep lying to our audience like that. Jesus.
All right.
Dude, coil. Go on to the Void Spirit. He's been leashed. They bring him back. They break the coil.
Nice.
That worked out with the Silence as well. And that's Thompson dead with an RP committing. Who's that for? Mid one. Mid one tanks like crazy with those all the items that he's got. He's really fast as well. Tanner decides to blink right onto him, but doesn't do much. Finally, the kill goes to Universe.
You might wish to retract your.
Doing a double damage. Do they take Roche here? I feel like they need to get something done. They're using all these high cooldown spells. They need to start turning them into objectives. Every single fight that we've seen so far has been on NAP's side of the map. And that's pretty scary when you see this 12,000 net worth troll who's just been farming completely uncontested with the Battle Fury for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, the troll he's going to be forced to be reckoned with. We have not really seen him, right? We saw one team fight with a battle trend turn around, but that's it. And now we're finally going to see a troll that's active. I think a BKB is a necessity, though, at some point in this game for the troll, right? Because the puck has no hags.
Yeah, you definitely will want it, although I don't think you can die anyway. You have the Oracle as backup, so Sumail is going to just wait until the last possible moment.
Alright, Sumail is just going to take the shot completely alone. If they go in, they're going to get caught by the spirits. They don't expect this. And they see this, they have a track from mid one annoying them as well. Oh, Sumail, they die here. He's been silenced, trying to prevent that ultimate from coming out. But that Astral Spirit! Sorry, the Ether Remnant is too good.
really nice.
It stopped Tanner from actually finishing him off. That was so clutch. And now in comes Sox, and the turnaround is here as he starts spitting globs of fire into the enemy, forcing Tanner away. Samael has used the ultimate. Now he's really low. No turns to help him. Where's the damage? Tanner brings it. However, a nice cookie stops him completely here, and the Hawk gets caught by another Ether Remnant. They're lacking the damage, and the Hawk has to just heal back up. Nice exchange of moves there. Thompson's still around. Dissimulate, looking for the kill. Silenced up. And now they go for Thompson. You know everybody killed off here? Nope, no need. Thompson's still looking for him.
Nice
but he's not going to fight him. Instead, they'll plant a spear to the face. And a death. No! The death is not going to happen. He actually gets away. I'm sorry. Dissimulate is enough to get him to safety.
Yeah,
so much so it makes me choke on my own words.
Oh, there's a regen right in front of the Roche pit too. This is such a scrappy fight from both teams. I can't believe that NIP are doing so much work with their long cooldown abilities. But RP is back up again, and Roche is still at like 25% health.
Troll in 10 seconds. They're gonna try to take it before Troll comes back. They have an RP, as you mentioned. No Mortimer's Kisses. There we go. Dream Coil for the Void Spirit Skewer. No, it's not enough to break the Dream Coil. So he actually just survives and gets stunned out the whole time. That's not good enough. They're going to try to catch the Hawk, but it's a bit too late. However, they do find Tanner, who just jumps right into the Ether Remnant. And Tanner's still looking for the RP onto 2. It's on the top send. Someone stop this man. Someone stop this madness. There's the RP, but immediately stopped by a false promise. Thompson's back to the shenanigans. Kills off Tanner. The Hawk is the next target, and the Hawk is forced to use Race to get away. I don't think it's going to be good enough. The Spirit of Mars misses everyone, and the Hawk is going to be killed off as well. Thompson, you madman.
This is what OG does to you, man. They force you to play these ridiculous, just non-stop brawl, scrappy fights. And NIP, they held their own for a while there, but this is like the originators of this style of play in the current meta, and you have to be awfully careful about taking a 5-minute fight against OG.
OG is the inventors of Street Fight Dota. I completely agree with you. They are scrappy. They will play you. Their carry is dead, and you'll go, okay, so now they should retreat. And OG is like, nah, this is exactly when we go forward the most. And they play this really well. Thompson was unkillable there, literally.
Just doing so much damage over time. All their short cooldown abilities. I keep saying this over and over again. NIP is very ultimate based, and it showed there. They just ran out of damage. They ran out of control. They have like one shot, and you know they missed their opportunity. Mom spaghetti, etc.
I was thinking that too. They did. That was the chance. I think that the big blunder in that team fight was the skewer to try to break the Dream Coil and not doing so. Just a bit too short, that skewer. And that stopped the whole team fight, because then you didn't have a stun onto Thompson. Thompson was only silenced, really. You lacked the damage, and the constant Ether Remnants, that ability is stupidly good.
Such a good area denial spell that people don't give it credit for.
Area denial is a rarity in Dota, but it's a commodity indeed. It's great for you. Samael, there's the Solar Crest is also doing work. I love this build for Thompson. Look at that Solar Crest and a troll. This guy stacks those fervor stacks like there's no tomorrow. And that's gonna be the Mailer-Rat's gone.
I love it. He's just constantly putting these Aether Remnants in a way that like Sumail can retreat through them and escape.
Yeah, exactly.
Such good play on this Void Spirit.
Also, if Tanner blinks in, try from behind, try to skewer him or whatever, gets caught, right? It's happened multiple times. And you keep thinking, why is Tanner blinking to the Remnant? Well, I mean, what else do you want him to do, you know?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You just can't initiate, unfortunately, on this man. It's been really tough for him. I think NIP has played this quite well, but OG's just playing this better.
Yep. I would agree. I think NIP is really, you know, they're showing a lot of character here in how they're having to play against a team like OG that's willing to fight them constantly.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Alright, that's bottom lane Rex done. And Samael once more. Someone stop this man. You can't just take your bats like this. There we go. Universe. Okay, Samael. Use the battle trance to kill the IO. Should be able to go. IO resist a lot thanks to the Infest. However, he's eventually killed off. Even with an Essence Ring, it's impossible. Mid one, chasing after the Puck. Puck is not going to be found. Instead, it's Lelos in the backline, who have to cut this team fight short. And he'll pay the price for it with his head.
The end.
OG running through the base. The Hawk, mid one. He just thinks this is his own base. He's defending it. They swapped sides mid-1. Men fighting a life dealer. This incredibly armored bounty hunter cannot be stopped, and actually in the base. Why? Oh, Tanner just skewered him. Okay, sorry. Tanner skewered mid-1.
He thought it was his own fountain, actually. He was like, oh,
Yeah,
let me go top myself off real quick.
Radiant's middle
And it did top him off, indeed. It really, really did top him off. Thompson, how will the Desolator? They have a bit of extra pushing power. They cannot take the lap lane of Rax, unfortunately, because they do not have the towers for it. But OG is not going to let this pressure stop. This pressure continues until the day they say it doesn't. They're going to go for kills here. Much like the other games, if you cannot break towers, you break the enemy. And Samael has an Abyssal. We've already seen how impactful that can be against the Isle earlier.
We have 2 Divine Rapiers also queued up.
One on Samael, one on Thompson?
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't even have to check to know. I just knew it. These guys.
Surprised that mid one doesn't have one queued up. Although,
Yeah.
if he's not quite sure which fountain is his, it's probably best if he doesn't.
That's fountain dysphoria is a really big issue. We have the beginning of the rapier is actually being built on Samael, though. He's not actually kidding about this rapier. He almost has it. He has the sacred relic.
Why not? How do you die? You don't die as this troll. There's no way.
No? With Paladin Sword as well?
Yep.
I mean, that is a good pickup for Samael, for a troll in general. Okay, Lifestealer way too cocky here. The Hawk almost gets bursted down. Thank God for PPD, though, saving his life. And it was actually a bait. Or, we're gonna call it that.
Who's baiting who?
I think NIP was baiting OG, but there's no follow-up, so I don't really know. Maybe being a skewer bait. There's still an H on troll, though, so it's very tough. It's a tall order to kill him. The Hawk going in, open wounds first, but even a Lifestealer can be out-healed by a troll, apparently. Paladin Sword a bit too strong. Little smoke, though. I saw smoke. NIP. There's their last resort, their last attempt, their Hail Mary. Will they be able to do so? Will this Hail Mary succeed?
They need like a huge RP into the fountain with Arena keeping them in there. They gotta go now, though.
Here we go. Oh, they missed the Spirit of Mars. And that Ancient's already half HP. I did hear the Aegis expire, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Aegis expired. Tanner just used the RP, though. And they did not use it to put it to good use. The Hawk is gone. Tanner's gone, too. PPD's dead, but I don't even, there's no point in casting that because the GG's already called. And OG is gonna win game number 1.
USA. USA.
Is that because Samael won, right?
Yep.
I like playing the game of guess what the American is cheering at this point.